Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Alright, things seem to be good. Let me post in the Discord. Alright, 1 second. Let me get my tea while people are coming in. Hey Nestle, how you doing? I'm excited for the stream. It's a fun idea. I think Bean helped me come up with it. Um, so basically, what happened was that people are looking forward to the next part of the of Vexers tier list. I've been getting a lot of comments on the video asking for the next set release. But I contacted Vexer and they said they were taking a break. So I was trying to think what to do. And either I could have you come on Nestle, or I could have another person come on. But I thought it'd be better to actually just do a community rating, and just ask a lot of players, what they think, just to see the variances. Um, of course, everyone is gonna have a little bit different ways they rank things and what they look. Everyone plays different decks. Very few players have played every single deck. So everyone has a kind of different experience, and also everyone has, like, of course, different experiences, um, different ways they approach the game. So it's kind of cool to see how people rank different decks. I am too. There's some spicy ones, I'll say that. There's some really spicy takes in this, so I'm curious what the community thinks. All right, let me get on the Discord. Beast is supposed to come. I'm not sure if I confused them with the time though. I might have by accident. They might think it's an hour from now. I'm not sure. By the way, I'll get on the Discord and then I'll start and then they can hop on whenever. All right. I think we're gonna start with Ciabatta just because they have to leave soon. So the idea I'm thinking is that everyone is around 5 minutes because we have 22 lists to go through. So if we can stick to around like 5 to 7 minutes per person, we can try to do it in like 2 hours ish. Yeah, 2.5 hours. Um, yeah, it shouldn't be too detailed, but I think it's more like we'll invite people on and then we'll see what is their spicy take, um, and then go from there. So basically, anyone can come on and then describe what they think uh, is important about their tier list compared to everyone else's, and we can go from there. And I guess the best way of starting this would be to first pull up Vexers tier lists, because that's the one which all the videos are about. So let me bring that up quickly. Let me bring that up quickly. So this will be. So
we're around there, even though the.
Let me just pull it up here quickly. So this is. So this will be. Anyways, so this is basically Vexers tier list currently.
Oh man, this is.
So basically, I think the only controversial one here would be Fungal Dwarves. The way Vexer kind of, or let me take a screenshot actually, that's probably the best way of doing this. Vexer. All right. Yeah, I completely agree, Nestle. Which decks you play impact how you see faction strength more than people uh, would like to impact. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that's one of the, like I always bring up, because I mostly played the goblins, decks such as Balzahar, such as Phoenix Elves, um, didn't really feel too oppressive. Or Crimson Order is another good. I guess Crimson Order is another one. Didn't feel as oppressive as it did for other players. For example, like I know Tundra Orcs or Cave Goblins players probably think that Crimson Order is like S tier if they only play Cave Goblins. Um, that can change. So basically, this is Vexer's tier list. I would say the only controversial one here is Fungal Dwarves off the bat. There's some other controversial ones I think after we go through everyone's tier list, which I don't want to go into detail with, just because I don't want to spoil anything. And also, mind you, this is before the recent buffs to both Fallen Kingdoms and Vanguards. So I'm sure that if Vexer was still playing, he might put them a little bit higher. Yeah, Ciabatta's going to come on. Um, I know Vexer would have put an S tier Filth, and then another one which he was talking to you about before was that he would have put he one of the reasons, or he thinks that
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing, Ciabatta?
Perfect. How's the sound quality?
I think it's good on my end. I'm gonna reduce you a little bit, but
Cool.
it should be good. Yeah, perfect.
Solid. I'll talk some so you can get the volume right, and then this should probably be enough.
I think so.
Cool. I'm actually going with the classic hold my phone up to my ear like I'm in the 1980s. Because it's the best mic I have available to me.
Nice. All right. Yeah, mics are. It's interesting because like sometimes someone gets a new mic and then their voice sounds completely different than they did. It's like I didn't know you sound like this. That's so funny. Yep. Let me share my screen so you can see the tier list. It's probably the easiest way of doing it. Or you have your own tier list, so.
Oh shucks. Hold on.
It's gonna be your tier list. So.
Maybe I have to do computer so I can see the tier list. Okay, this is the computer one. How's the quality difference?
It's perfect. Yeah, it's a little bit worse, but it's fine. Everyone can. It's understandable.
Cool. And this way I can see your mouse moving around and such for visuals. So this is the aggregate?
No, this is just Vexers. So I was telling the chat that basically Vexer has taken a break from Summoner Wars, so the idea was to have a community. Just because I didn't want to invite just one person on. I think it's good to just have everyone. And also, it is very cool to see where everyone has different things. There's a lot of actually things on this list which are actually controversial, I think, in the community already. I mean, the obvious one is like Fungal Dwarves, right?
Fungal Dwarves in S, Storm Goblins in A.
Yep.
Breakers all the way in B alone.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep. I think the way So of course everyone has a slightly different definition of how they make their list. Vexer's
Yeah.
definition, if I understood it, was he was saying that in isolation, like just looking at card power, how strong is this deck? So
Gotcha.
for Fungal Dwarves, his argument was more that Fungal Dwarves is a very strong deck. It's just unfortunate that every deck afterwards, or every other deck afterwards, seems to counter Fungal Dwarves, so it's not as strong as originally designed, or as the deck seems it is. Would be his.
That's reasonable. I mean, I moved it up from C to B partially because of that. I'm like, this deck is, I'll say it when the stream starts, but my deciding factor was how scared am I to go up against this deck? How much do I go, uh-oh? And that helped me decide, like, the tiebreakers. Was like, would I rather deal with Eternal Council shenanigans or Phoenix Elf shenanigans?
That makes sense.
And I figured I picked Phoenix Elves because it was more versatile. Eternal Council you can play around more.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no, that's a cool way of approaching it. Yeah, some people, I think you and a few others messaged me their criteria for different ranks. But I agree. I think it gets really hard within the different tiers. Yeah, the ranks. Should we go to your list, Ciabatta?
Yeah, is it recording? Also, where's Bean?
Bean is Beast. I'm not sure where he is currently.
Beast, sorry. Well, I guess I'm the host. I'm the host for now, or the co-host.
You're the co-host currently. Yep. But you have to leave soon.
Heck yeah.
So. I think I might have also false advertised on the Discord about the time by an hour, so maybe that's the reason why. I forgot EST because I'm in Central Time and I accidentally put the time for Central. So, all right, I'll start recording. Actually, it is already recording, but I have to download the VOD afterwards, so don't worry about it. I'll just download it from I'll edit it after downloading it from Twitch.
Perfect.
Who is Alex Smith? I'm not sure who this is.
I think he's a former quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs. He mentored Patrick Mahomes.
I'm not sure who this is. Anyways, banned. Poor guy.
Number one overall.
Number one pick, Drew.
He was good. He was good in San Francisco where I lived. Then Colin Kaepernick showed up, and I'm gonna stop there before it becomes another political rant.
Yep. No, anyways, yeah, we'll have a discussion about this another time. Colin Kaepernick is a funny. It was a.
I like him.
Yeah, I like him also. Okay. Anyways, where is your tier list here? So, the way I'm thinking about doing this is, I'll give you like 5 minutes to sort of talk about what you think is interesting about your tier list. The sad thing is because you're going basically first, other people have not seen other tier lists, so they don't see the the differences. Immediately, I guess for me, what I would point out is that you have Wayfarers S tier and you have Shadow Elves A tier, as well as Chosen Groves A tier. I think are like the three things which initially sort of stand out to me.
Yes. So I'll start with the overview, if that's good with you.
Yep, perfect.
So I was ranking these according to a blind pick where you don't know the opponent at top level play. So like Division 1 League or the Plaid Hat Games Tournament Finals, that kind of thing. Otherwise, decks like Crimson Order would be way higher. So I was deciding which decks have strengths, which decks can do well in any matchup, so you're not going to get ruined turn 1. And which decks just have the highest win rates against the overall spread of decks. Starting with Savannah Elves. So the S tier decks are decks that play against them. You go, oh no, this is gonna be an uphill battle. A tier decks are decks where you go, all right, there is some stuff I need to watch out for. I really need to be on my A game in order to win these matchups.
I like it.
B decks are normal decks. You know, they have strengths, they have weaknesses, they have ways to win, they have ways to lose. C decks are decks with significant weaknesses, things that, like, crippling flaws that kind of hold them back. And by the way, crippling is relative. Every single deck is able to win a top level game, at least like 30% of the time, even in the worst possible matchup. That said, I would pick any of these except Shimmer Sea Fae, D tier. I think that they have significant flaws that hold them back, in addition to a lack of really effective strengths that the decks in C tier have, where they can take over games. Shimmer Sea Fae, if you win, it always feels like you just got it by the skin of your teeth. And Unsure, these are the newest decks. And so I was not really sure where to put them because I don't have that much experience playing against them, playing with them, or have that much data to back up, like the league results and the Planet Games results. Just so people know, I would probably put Drake's Rebellion like high to medium A tier. Fallen Kingdom would be the lowest A tier, maybe top of B tier. Vanguards would be normal B tier with their buffs, and Guild Dwarves would be bottom of B tier, maybe above Fungal Dwarves or Deepwood Groaks. But I don't want those to be part of the aggregate because I am super ambivalent. Like, I'm not confident in my own takes the way I am for Wayfarers, Shadow Elves, and Chosen Grove.
Yep. Very much like how you defined the tier list and talked about each tier. Another one which is definitely sticks out to me is Spectral Conclave C tier. A lot of people have Spectral Conclave as S tier. There's been no Plat Hat tournaments, I guess, like big aggregate datas outside of whatever Plat Hat has given us in terms of public data, but no like sweaty tournament data to really tell us where they lie. Do you want to explain your reasoning for putting Spectral Conclave so low? I guess below, you're saying it's basically below the average. Hey, Bean. Or not, Beast.
Yo.
Hey, Beast.
What's good? What's good, folks?
We're just going through Ciabatta's list, which is shown here. And he was basically explaining the different tiers. And now I'm questioning him on his controversial Spectral Conclave C tier.
Yeah. So I think that Spectral Conclave, for those of you who don't know the deck, their whole gimmick is that a lot of their units are ghosts or spirits, sort of phantasms. So they have 3 different 0-cost common units. Yeah, you can pull them up. That when you walk next to them, when you move next to them, interesting. You go to the new public game. I always go to Deck Builder.
That's a good
But
idea.
that's a better view to see just the cards. Anyway, these cards, the Fox, the Hawk, and the Stag, they all have this ability called Depart, which means that if an enemy unit walks to them, they disappear, denying magic, and your summoner gets a boost. And the summoner, Faerun, can use that boost for its ability Illusionist. And Illusionist allows you to summon these specters from their discard pile, from your discard pile, for free at any time, which is extremely powerful. You can attack with Faerun and then put a blocker in. You can get multiple attacks on the same lane. You can move Faerun, summon a illusory unit, and then move that unit to get more burst, more range, because it's kind of like moving 4 spaces in a turn. And then all of their events synergize with this combo. Unleash lets you attack with extra cards, which is better when you have a bunch of 0-costers. Split lets you make an extra one of your illusory units. Ghost Walk lets you swap with your illusory units. And then all of the champions synergize with these illusory units as well. This is why a lot of people think that this deck is so good. They have all of these ways to create combos, create positioning, and really mess with the opponent because you don't want to give Faerun boosts ever. And if you have all melee attackers and they can't really attack these guys because they'll just disappear. You won't get the magic for killing them. The summoner basically just gets them back because they can pull them from the discard pile, and it's more effective as a boost than as a card on the board. I think that these traits are the crippling weakness of the Spectral Conclave, because what you have are probably, there's a bunch of things that go wrong. One is that you have 0-0-0-2 common unit split, which you want to have variety in your common unit magic costs. It makes you more versatile. Another is that you're very, very weak when you don't have the units up, because all of your stuff relies on you having these, so you're pretty vulnerable to bad draws. But by far the biggest problem is that you are completely unable to use 12 cards for body blocking, which is a vital positional element. You want to put a card in front of your summoner so it can move forward, set up gates on the next turn. Well, you can't, because the opponent can just walk next to the unit, it disappears, and now your summoner is open to get hit. That depart is a double-edged sword. You want to play aggro. Don't let Farron get in too far, or else he'll get surrounded and killed. Illusionist only works if you have spaces to put them in. So if you surround Farron, or even partially surround him, he can only get, or they can only get out 1 or 2 or 0 illusory units from their ability. And so they're very vulnerable to crowding. In addition, Farron only has 11 health, which is much less than the typical 12 on summoners, which means that you're even more vulnerable to these aggro attacks. Top tier decks like the Savannah Elves, the Shadow Elves, the Cloaks, maybe not the Cloaks because they rely on Out of Shadows, but Wayfarers, Sand Goblins with their chip, all these, or decks like the Swamp Orcs who hit hard. Muglug will just walk up next to you and smack you in the face and you're dead. And you can't block against that. So the Spectral Conclave have a lot of, really good matchups against super melee heavy decks, but they also have a lot of really tough matchups because they just cannot use their summoner effectively. And without using your summoner in good positions, you're just playing a bad econ deck, like a handicapped Fallen Kingdom, where you have to just keep the guy behind and use them as an econ tool to generate cards.
Interesting. So you're saying that you
Yeah.
think ideally against Spectral Conclave, the best bet is to just go aggro, go in their face, try to, like you said, surround Farron, and then go on.
If you have the ability to do so. Of course, sometimes you don't have the ability to land the kill, and so you don't want to give Farron 4 boosts, let them get out of the situation, and then start messing with you with all the good combos they have. But Farron's the depart ability on these cards does not activate for forces. And so many decks, even melee decks, have ways to force units next to them. And that, plus, if they try to go aggro on you, you can just put gates and then summon units next to them, and then there's nothing they can do. And if you have ranged units, you just don't walk up next to them at all. You just shoot them. And they're 2 cost, 2 health zeros. So you can generate a lot of magic to keep that strategy going. It's a paper tiger strategy, and it can work. It's still a viable deck. That's why it's not D tier. But I think that their frustration and the difficulty of facing them is going to go down over time as people figure them out, similar to the Crimson Order.
I see. Okay. You think just people need more experience against them? No, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you think
like
you're
Crimson Order was a deck that people were saying was S tier for a very long time, until people figured out that their lack of mobility and the fact that they tend to crowd themselves can lead to a lot of ways to take advantage of their slowness and their also their 10 health summoner who likes to damage himself. These low health summoners need good defensive tools, and if they don't have them, they're kind of up a creek without a paddle.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, Ciabatta. It's you don't want to walk into the faction strength. Like people walked into Crimson Order like the first go around, and now people just know to kite them as best as they could. And I think it's kind of a similar story here. I see where you're coming from. Why Spectral Conclave see. Um, what do you think about their annoying gate hug and like econ denial weird moves where they park their stuff in front of your gate and they ask you to do something?
I mean, it's really good. The sea decks are still completely viable. I have great things to say about Storm Goblins, Obsidian Dwarves, and Cave Goblins as well. Cave Goblins, if they get the right cards and they have a good player, they can just kind of erase you from existence. They're just, that strategy is just pretty situational, and it's not reliable and versatile enough to get them into the higher tiers. Because things need to go right for it to work.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think, like you said, I think as you and other people have pointed out, Cave Goblins are really strong if they have a strong player and also draw well. But if they don't, then and draw well is also like very situational, right? Like sometimes you do want a very aggro hand, other times you want a very passive hand, and that variance kind of makes them weaker than they can be. The same thing with OD, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's another deck that's extremely strong on paper, but the limited movement of their summoner means that you just stay 5 spaces away and they can't really touch you with Volcanic Blast. By the way, deck building Obsidian Dwarves might be the strongest deck in the game because you just attach into a dragon.
Just
you generate a billion boosts with all of the different boost generating events and commons. You hike them up to a dragon like Brimstone or Cinderwing, fly him in, hit for 7, and then 8 damage to everything in existence, and it just
do they deck build both dragons? Is that what you've seen?
Dragons. Yes.
That's crazy.
It's so great.
Really
the Cinderwing's better because it's cheaper, but Brimstone is completely viable as a higher health dragon summoner or
just
champion.
To get Balzar in there.
Yeah.
Just chuck them in.
That's nuts.
Which also gives you some redundancy, because if you draw one dragon in your opening hand, you can trash it, you can discard it, and still know you'll have the second one coming.
It's still the usual Zeal, Double Blast, all that.
Yep. All the good stuff that the other a lot of instinct decks have.
So moving forward with your list, Ciabatta, the other thing which stands out is you have Wayfarers S tier and Shadow Elves A tier. You want to tell us why?
Yes. To start off, I almost put Isle Vekid and Shadow Elves in S tier. But not quite. The weakness for Shadow Elves is that because of they need some time to set up, and so they can be pretty vulnerable to aggro. You kill their units before they can return them, or you just overwhelm them since they don't have the best short game. Outside of the True Seekers, they don't have that many movement shenanigans outside of their combos. So you can crowd them. You can it's an 11 health summoner, which again 5 range, so it's a good summoner. But their combos need a bunch of boosts on Selendar to set up. They can be played around a little bit by just not leaving common units next to your summoner so they can't glistening speed your own card. There's weaknesses to the Shadow Elves, and the win rates really support it. Even at top level, they're not getting the absurd win rates that we see with the S tier decks. When they win, but they can also peter out or just lose to a better econ opponent.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not low on the Shadow Elves. I have them top 7. I just don't think they're quite as consistent and quite as resilient as the decks above them.
Okay. And then Wayfarer's S tier.
Wayfarer's S tier. You will notice with a lot of my picks, I am a much bigger believer in tempo than most players. I think that discarding really aggressively, building a really strong board presence early, and snowballing that into victory by preventing your opponent from doing what they want to do can be extremely effective. Wayfarers, outside of my personal favorite, Savannah Elves, might be the very best deck at this. Every single card they have is good. There is not a single bad card in their deck. So they have great resilience to bad draws because they'll always have, unless you draw like no commons or something, which is a problem every deck can struggle with just by the nature of the game. They rarely have useless hands. They have absurd KO power through slip by, through the 6 damage that Celeste can do, through the underrated epic event coordinate, which gives you extra movement and attack, which by being a very generic epic, it lets you use it in very much different ways to synergize with these specialized things that your commons or champions or other events do. But what really bumped them up from A tier into S tier was Seek the Horizon. This card synergizes with their get in your face gameplay, but gives them a counterpunch of an econ game that is extremely, like, it's a 3-for-1, and it gives you the cards that you want back. And you get the common unit suite for this deck is extremely strong and better when you have one of each. So just, not only is it really thematic as these like band of friends, but it lets you win long games in cases where other aggro decks like Cave Goblins just can't. Because if they don't get the kill, they can still play and whittle you down. The Wayfarers have a lot in common with the Savannah Elves in that they kind of have a pick your poison of you either play good econ but leave yourself vulnerable to the assassination, or you defend yourself from the assassination but you make worse econ plays as a trade and then you might lose the long game. Both things for both of these decks work as one. You don't have to pick between one or the other. And it really creates a bind for your opponent because they are often left with no good options. Plus, just looking at one more thing, look at the card spread. Waypoint is very, very good. You can just plop that down as a blocker. Consider it like a common unit, and the numbers look crazy. Coordinate, I already mentioned. Slip, I already mentioned. Great event spread. Boldo, I have as the second best champion in the entire game. Just above average stats on a bonkers ability. And we all know how valuable teleports are in this game. Cards like Wind Mage carry the breakers to B tier almost on their own. The other champions, Gusto and Pest, are, again, kind of change up pitches, but they can end the game if you're not careful, and the opponent has to play around them. Rogue might be the best 0 cost in the game. It's either them or Rustside Bandit, in my opinion. Voyager enables everything. Adventurer gives you boosts. Dancer is that econ 2-5 stat line that is so useful as a blocker. And Footwork lets you make a lot of cheeky hit and run plays. So they just have like a toolbox that works in every single matchup that gives them winning chances in every single game. And that's what you want from an S tier deck. You're never going to see a matchup with the Wayfarers and go, oh, I'm losing this. They're just strong. They're fast. They're efficient. I think they're one of the best design decks in the game, and I really like them.
I completely agree. Ciabatta says he thinks that Devout Cultist is the best common in the game.
I mean,
That's a good take. It might be them.
Dead in the water take. I think most people are on it.
Yeah, you know, you're probably right. That card is
No. But jokes aside, Ciabatta, I think you're onto something there because it can be crazy when it just rolls like all the way your way.
Devout Cultist gets extra boost from being with the Baron.
True.
But you're right. Devout Cultist is the best zero coster.
But let me check you, Ciabatta, because you like the Wayfarers. I know you put Drake's on Rebellion in the unsure tier here. Have you played them any at all?
Not enough to be really confident with them, but they're so cool.
Got you. Okay, got you.
Yeah,
From what
I've had a
watched
bunch
with people,
of.
they play them a lot like the Wayfarers, so I think they're right
Cool.
up your alley.
I should start playing them. That's good to know. Thank you.
So last one, which I'll bring up, Ciabatta, just because this comes relevant later. I've already messaged you about this. Chosen Grove in A tier. Can you give us an explanation for that?
So, you remember everything I said about the Spectral Conclave? They have one punch and it can be played around. They have one.
Mhm.
They have like the everything that they have that like really weakens them are the same things that really make the Chosen Grove good. Spectral Conclave, they leave their summoner really open. Chosen Grove, they have 20 health on their summoner. Spectral Conclave, they have a bad common unit split. Chosen Grove has a 0-1-1-0-1-2-2. And while Stag Rider is a weakness, the 0, 1, and 2 are all really good cards. Chosen Grove is what a sworn faction that's playing for the long game looks like. They love to flood the board with all of these cards that give them value just by existing. Saplings, they become, once you get them running, they're 2/3s that give you a boost back. Seed Bearers, that's kind of in the Wind Mage, Citadel Advisor, Vine Mancer, movement type common unit, and those are always really solid to have. Oathsworn Guard is a top 10 common in the game. Look at that card. 2 attack, 5 health, so normal stat line. It's got Protect. So your weaker stuff, the stuff that you want to protect, like your champions or your summoner, they can't get hit. And it's got Shove on top of it, so you can make a lot of econ plays with like Stag Riders in the back, Seed Bearers in the back that you don't want to die. Knight of Seasons is effectively, if you get the combo with it, it's a 6 attack, 8 health card for 3 cost. So that's, I don't think I need to say more about that. You do need to have it set up, but that's an amazing card. Adric just gives free attacks. But what really does it with this deck is that summoner stat line. 4 attack, 20 health. No other summoner in the entire game has a summoner that has more than 14 health. 20 health means that so many decks that rely on assassination, like my Savannah Elves, like Shadow Elves, like Wayfarers, they can't play the assassination game. Because if you're protecting Nimid at 20 health, there's basically nothing that they can do. And so when you play for the long game, eventually you get this 4 attack, 20 health, you can summon off this guy card moving around and just winning the showdowns in the way that Savara likes to do back in the olden days. The event suite is excellent. All 4 events are good. Uproot is a 5 attack burn, 5 damage burn. Of course, it's situational, but considering that a 2 damage burn in Burn from the Phoenix Elves is a very playable card, a situational 5 damage version is excellent. Summer is almost always 3 extra damage when you use it. And it gives you a boost. So that's really, really good value. I almost always play both of them. Sometimes you play 3 of them when you have Knight of Seasons. Rite of Spring, a little more situational, but you don't even need the heals. You just get boosts on everybody. And all of these cards like having boosts on them. Autumn, also you can use that to get surprise boosts on Seed Bearer, which gives you surprise pulls for Uproot. Autumn is a very good hit and run tool. You get to go out and then teleport back, much in the way that the Mountain Vargoth love to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, and it protects you from forces, which can be situationally extremely valuable. Really what this deck has is it's going to play its game of going for the long game building up an economy, building up an advantage. And there's nothing that the opponent can really do about it because they can't go for the assassination because Nimid has too much health for assassination plays to work. They can't go for the aggro wall crowding because if they try to crowd Nimid, it just hits them with Uproot for 5 damage flat. And it gets to attack you. It's a wall that can attack.
Mm-hmm.
So the only win condition is the economy. And this deck is built to win economy battles. It's a really, really tough thing to deal with. And I think that its matchups against the top decks are extremely strong, which I did take into account with this tier list. I think that its matchups against weird decks are extremely strong. Like, a lot of decks that want to, quote-unquote, do their thing and get in on you just can't. Look at the Forged. They want to get in on you, but then you're fine fighting that battle because you're going to win the econ game. Skyspear Avians want to line up a Sky attack to hit your summoner 3 times in a row. All right, now I'm at 12 health instead of 20. That's fine. Now I'm at the health that you started with, more than that. Some decks do have good matchups against it. Eternal Council can do a lot because they can't run away. Decks that are growth factions and also like to play the long game, like Fungal Dwarfs, do pretty well against it. A lot of the top decks can out-econ it because they're just, built different. But I think the Chosen Grove have a very good matchup spread. I think that their game plan is very solid, and there isn't a deck yet that can really deal with that 20 health in a way that cripples them in a way that the C-tier decks do.
I see. No, I think that's a great justification. Or defending the Chosen Grove from the slander, which will come later by a few people.
Oh, yeah. Also, they do have serious weaknesses. The fact that their summoner can't move, that's obviously a big problem. They do have no real burst threat themselves. They don't do assassinations. They don't do aggro. So the game is pretty one-dimensional that way, and decks that are worried about assassination or aggro can play a little more comfy against them. That's why they're not higher in A tier. That's why they were almost in B tier. But I wanted to give them the credit for the top tier matchup spread. I wanted to give them the credit for their unique strengths. I mean, it sounds so basic, but 20 health on the summoner, it's really good.
No.
And they have the cards to back it up. Just the toolbox spread is very strong.
Agreed. I think that's a great argument for them being very strong. Beast or Ciabatta, is there anything else you want to bring up with your tier list? Or
No, I think sound points from Ciabatta. This is not my tier list, so.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching this back. I do have to go, but watching this back and hearing everybody else say the exact opposite of what I just said. I'm glad I got in first, so that anybody who doesn't listen to the whole thing, which you should, by the way,
Agreed.
just gets my opinion and nothing else.
Don't worry, Savannah Elves stay top 1.
Heck yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Savannah Elves, all those top
They
decks,
stay on top. Yep.
all those top decks just have game plans that you just cannot really deal with. The Cloaks have Out of Shadows plus like burst of speed, blocks. Even with losing the super blocks with burst of speed plus hand cannon, that's fine. You just need burst of speed. You just need the moto boots. Wayfarers have their assassination game. The Filth have an absurd just spread of aggro, assassination, and econ. Plus, everybody complains about the Abomination. I don't think it's broken. If I did, they would be number 2 or 1. But it is a very, very good move, and you do have to be scared of it. Sand Goblins, oh my god. Sand Goblins are the deck that you cannot play around. They have so many options. They have so many methods of recursion. Their win rates in Division 1 are higher than anybody's, and I almost put them in number 1 because of that. But 2 things stop me. One is small sample size, and the second is that I love Savannah Elves. Lowest skill floor in the game. very simple to comprehend, very good for beginners, and super high skill ceiling with all the ways you can set them up. Border Archer might be the best common in the game. I don't actually think so, but it's top 10. 4 attack, 4 health, plus combo abilities for a 2-coster. Amazing. The Rhinos, amazing. Spirit Mages, highly underrated. The Champions, 2 of them are amazing. Chant of Entangling is my favorite card in the game. I think that's it. I think that's everything.
No, I'm inclined to believe it. I think Savannah Elves is definitely S tier. You know, it's one of the best decks in the game, like you said. Just has a game plan for everything. Doesn't have really a bad matchup. And also, I think it matches up very well into the other S tier decks, like you said. Has a good matchup in the Sand Goblins, Filth, Wayfarers, Cloaks, you know, Shadow Elves also. Yeah.
Yes. And I love that Savannah Elves are the best. Partially because I play them, and I'm biased. But partially because they let other decks do their thing. They don't have control tools, and they have a 10 health summoner. Not as big a deal for them as the others, because their summoner hides like a coward the whole game. But it lets the other decks have fun. And so Savannah Elves are very good if you're a beginner trying to pick which of these decks to play. You'll have fun, your opponents will have fun, and you'll be able to know some of the combos from the start, and you'll have a lot of room to grow into potentially a top player, just like the people I'm chatting to.
Wow.
Thank you.
Laying it on thick. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thanks
But
so
no,
much. Sorry, go on.
those are very interesting points. When I made my tier list, or I think when other people made their tier lists, they probably weren't considering how friendly Savannah Elves is to basically every aspect of the game, like having other people enjoy it, ease of piloting, scaffolding into learning as a player. I think those are really solid points, Ciabatta. I think I'll need to rethink mine.
Thank you. This is a competitive deck list, but if I was making a fun
Right.
deck list, it's the exact same deck at the top.
That's a fun
No, checks
idea.
out.
Yep. I'll have to make a fun tier list next time, maybe in half a year from now or something. You know, in a couple of months. That sounds like a fun idea.
Yeah. Balzar will be happy. He'll perform a lot better in that one.
True. I think Faye would also be boosted up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens when PhD gets to them.
All right. Thanks so much, Ciabatta.
Yeah.
No
Thanks,
problem.
Ciabatta.
Glad to join, and thanks for doing this.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right.
All right. Beast, should we go over your list, or I guess we can do people's in the chats list, because whoever's here and needs
Sure.
to leave soon
Yeah.
can hop on. I should have made my own list, but then I got biased by everyone
didn't?
else's list. No, I didn't.
What's going on? That's crazy.
I should have done.
You fish for tier lists and you don't make your own. That's crazy.
I was like, because by the time I was like, oh, I should make a list, I was like, wait, I'm so biased by everyone else's list, I probably should wait till after. That way I can make a biased tier list. Because there's some spicy takes, which I agree with. I think Ciabatta has great arguments for Spectral Conclave being weaker than they are. I do not believe that they're C tier still. I think potentially Ciabatta's a little bit biased because he plays Savannah Elves, and Savannah Elves are pretty good into Spectral Conclave. Not to say that what he's saying is wrong. I think I definitely can learn from him how to play against Spectral Conclave. But it is interesting. Yeah.
I think once people really force themselves to, I don't know, make do with a 2-range hit, whatever 2-range common or 3-range common you got, you'll probably do better against the Spectral Conclave. It's just some matchups don't have the option, So.
Exactly. Yeah. Very melee heavy factions.
Right.
Cool. Let's go to the next list. Does anyone in chat want to come on? Kowloon, Astro, Tortugatron, Nestle. You guys all submitted lists. Happy to have you guys on. And in the meantime, should we can just have or whoever wants to come on, just message me, I guess, and then we can go over, I guess, your list, Bean or Beast, sorry. In the meantime.
Sure.
All right. So you were very nice, and you We're
I
we
mean,
may,
you could probably distribute Ciabatta's list to look just like this. Just pop off a few of the B-listers down. That's
yeah, I
how it
love it
is.
down. But I like the even rows. Can you explain, I guess, to everyone what your different tiers mean to you?
Yeah, I roughly think this is in power order. Roughly, I was thinking about, okay, who beats what beats what, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And so the usual predators are at the top, and the usual prey are at the bottom. Um, Even though I am an exemplar for the Shimmer Sea Fae, I do think that it's always on the Fae to prove their advantage to anything, any faction that you approach. You're always at the mercy of something. So Shimmer Sea Fae at the bottom. Shadow Elves I rank at the top because I think they have so many ways to get where they want to be. They can get you from pretty much anywhere.
Mm.
Even though they build up, I know Ciabatta notes that Shadow Elves build up. They have that arc of needing to stack boosts, hit your gates
Mm-hmm.
with uh, leftover Seekers, leftover Rangers, and it's also skill to know when to leave things out and risk the hit, right?
Yeah.
Um, so, but in general, I think Shadow Elves are really deterrent. They can pull. I think a lot of the things that I value as a player, you guys will see this pattern with me. I'm a self-professed econ player through and through. I like manipulating the battlefield. I like pulling the front of the battle closer to my field. And so a lot of the things that I said during the Shimmer Sife podcast, that holds true to me um, in every other faction that I play. So the fact that they have the Seekers to hit you and then pull the battlefront back to the side of the Shadow Elves, that's nuts to me. And get to you with Ranger Knights combos, poke at you with mages, all that stuff that Shadow Elves does. Then finish you off with a glinting speed finale. At some point, the end game for the Shadow Elves is just a calculation.
Mm.
Once you get to 7 health, I'm thinking about it. I'm already thinking about it,
Yeah,
and it's not
100%.
it's not so far off. It's just I'm just computing. So
True.
that's why I rank them highly there.
Mm-hmm.
I think the newcomer, Drixon, is a little bit more contentious because we need time to let them sit. I'm a play tester, so I've had a lot of time playing them, and I know they're strong. It's just nasty the things that they do. Hit you with 4 range, 10 health from afar, and then scoot back. Like that's nuts. Sure, yes, it does cost a blazing speed. Sometimes that's not the best use of it. So you trade a card for a card, or you trade I don't know, their epic recall Brimstorm
Mm-hmm.
to pull back yeah, to pull back Brim or to pull back Pyra. But once they get up your face, it's like this faction is the definition of surgical strikes to me. And it's not even like surgical at all. Sometimes they brute force you once you get in there. They can do a lot of collateral damage with rainfire. Like they're the way they break the water from calm to raging is nuts. Like rainfire sets the ground, cleans it up sometimes. Suddenly your 1 HP commons that are blocking stuff are a liability. Or 2 HP if you got 2 flyers. Say Brimstorm and another flyer gets in there and then clears out your 2 HP common with that. It could be nuts. And so yeah, and they've got amazing commons too. The Dragoon is a 0 cost 3, right? Much in the same vein as the Chosen Grove 2 melee 3. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
the Dragoon is nuts in context. The Outrider is cute, but I think it's mostly magic fodder in this deck.
Mm.
I'm not really spending one for a 2 HP unit that, it could be nice if you have, say, a rogue position for the Outrider to keep it safe, right? Make use of it for one more turn, but otherwise, I'm going to toss this. And then the Raider is your only way to sustain the front because Pyra has Gatebreaker. So normally you can't summon on the opponent's side of the field, but that's okay because you get there anyway with Mount. So just all in all these good commons, and not to mention we're not even at their champion speed yet. Like these guys discard stuff like crazy. They discard Firestorm, they discard Rainfire, discard Ashen Raiders and Ember Outriders to get to their champions because their champions are nuts. So Cinderwing is a backup dragon. Yeah, just a backup dragon. If you lose Brimstorm, you got Cinderwing, and then you can hit them for 5 with your Epic. Otherwise, just another backup flight thing. And then Raise is nuts for 6 cost. There's a reason why he's 6. Because he's going to hit your summoner for 6. So, best of luck defending against these people. Because for a lot of the game, they can sit outside. If you try to sit defensively against them and wait for them to dive in, they're willing to play that game happily. I'll poke you with a Wormling. I'll poke you with Brim, and then just catch you out of position, or if I can see a dive where I can back out with a blazing speed, I'll take that, But these guys are very, very close to the Wayfarers. They don't do as economically as the Wayfarers do, but they are very tempo, and they will beat you on tempo. And if it really gets in your head that they've got you all turtled up, they've got Cole to smoke you out. Like Cole in a prime position is a freak of nature.
Agreed.
This guy has no business being this good.
I agree.
For real.
It's such a cool card.
So it's like you can't shell up, you can't meet them in the middle. Somehow you need to chip away at Pyre or Brimstorm to cut their offensive. But then they'll meet you where you're at and beat you where you're at. So I think they're out there.
Yeah, no,
I'll be right there.
I agree. I think Cole Inferno, that's a great point. Is like, to be honest, I think Cole Inferno is the only reason that this card like goes up a tier, is because like it completely counters the play style you'd want to normally play against this, which is sort of shell up, just surround your summoner by a ton of different buildings and commons, and Cole Inferno is like the best counter in the game to that strategy.
Yeah, and he ruins certain matchups too, like smokes out, I don't know, spare Volt Swappers from blah blah blah, 1 HP commons from, I don't know, Cave Goblins, what have you. He's good. He's good. All the champs are good. These are 3 A-listers up here in this faction. That's crazy. And they start with a champion, mind you. So, from where I'm standing, it's all gravy.
No, interesting.
This is a S tier, if not A tier. People can debate, but yeah.
Cool. No, I like that. So people in the chat were kind of pointing out, you put Swamp Orcs and potentially, call it Swamp Orcs, but I also say High Elves at C tier, which I think is lower than most people do. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was thinking up some stuff. I think a lot of the more matchup neutral stuff are at the top. Let me see if I put it right. Yeah, Mountain Vargath, Tundra Orcs, matchup neutral. Savannah Elves, Wayfarers, pretty matchup neutral. I think Wayfarers could even be up there, but I think the only contentious inclusions here are Drakesun Rebellion and Spectral Conclave. And so that's why certain things in A aren't pushed up to S, and it's debatable where those 2 were that I pointed out, Drakesun and Spectral. But I think everyone's going to agree Filth, Sand Goblins, Cloaks are probably there, S, if not A. Crimson Order I put at A. I'd probably say, Mountain Vargath and Thunder Orcs are further up. Wait for me, I'll get to the Swamp Orcs bit, but I'm explaining why things are ordered a certain way. I think Guild Dwarves are A. Crimson Order and Guild Dwarves are A. They're kind of like Shadow Elves light. A lot of recursion, a lot of 1 for 1, if not 1 for 2 on your stuff. Guild Dwarves has a lot of that 3 HP on their stuff. Also, the new faction, the other new kid on the block after Drakesun. Yeah, so these are the things we know. these are a lot of these are the factions that we know. So let me just spend a little bit of time on the Guild Wars. Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Guild Dwarves have a lot of tools to go 1 for 2 on your stuff. And if you can't confirm kills on their stuff, they bounce, and that's a lot of where they get their value at. Catapult does 1 guaranteed on your stuff, so it helps them trade against 2 HP units. They are 2 range. In general, their stat line kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of 2 range stuff here. Even their engineers are 2 range. Olden is not bad, 312. What really makes them good, I think, and what really lets them trade up all the time are the supply caches. And this I think is the all-star of the deck, because this turns everything into just yeah, just this is it. This takes it. It turns your catapults into 3/3s, turns Olden into a 4, turns your ballista into a 4, uh, lets you do tricks, recurable, perfect target for Olden's stuff. But in general, their core game plan is to recur structures. Defend Olden with a spare gate that they later bounce. You can't waste attacks on a 5 gate against
Yep.
Olden because it doesn't mean anything. So that means his front is basically permanently protected, right? And so from there, he can just kite your stuff out with ballistae and defenders. One tap them like that, or if not, ballistae and a defender, a battering ram and a defender. That's the other thing that we need to get to. The battering ram, I think that's key for a lot of their power. By and large, this faction is very static. Blueprints lets you do magic with them. But Battering Ram and Baldar's Gate are key to unlocking what you can do with them as a combo faction of sorts. Battering Ram lets you do 2 clickable damage onto someone whenever you're done doing your attack phase or however you want to sequence it. Battering Ram is clickable. Up to you when you want to use it. But 2 coster, 5 HP, it will stay there forever. So you need to put it in prime position. A lot of skill being a Guild Wars player is knowing where to position this and where to force the fight around this. You need to force the fight around this to really make use of it. So, yeah, Battering Ram, good card. It's kind of like a 4th attack when you think about it. It's 2 free
True.
damage on anyone, anywhere. Where it really gets devastating is when you pair it with the defenders or when you pair it with a battery of ranged units just waiting for that enemy to get forced into the line of fire. And then the other thing is Baldar's Gate. Baldar's Gate lets you hit with the common that you summon off of it. Lets you summon when you place the gate. Lets you summon a unit off of it and lets you hit with it immediately. It costs 1, so it's no free lunch. But one common thing that you'll see when you're facing Guild Dwarves is Baldar's Gate into a defender. 4 melee into the face of your summoner and greater engage is a death sentence. That is 6 damage waiting to happen on your summoner. So, folks, don't walk up into Guild Dwarves because that will happen to you. What really ties them up, I think, is blueprints, and this was a special kind of magic. I don't know who came up with this idea in playtesting. Somehow it just dropped on our laps, and it was it. It unlocked a lot of magic for us. Blueprints lets you save 2 things into the event, and it stays there, much like Convert, much like active events. Yeah, and it lets you play them anytime you like. Besides, I think you can't do it during summon or magic phase, but basically this buys you a lot of flexibility and makes them cost less. So Battering Ram now costs 1, Baldur's Gate now costs 0. So this means you can attack with everyone and then plop down a Baldur's Gate blueprinted Baldur's Gate in front of whoever, and then swing at a dude from just basically KO someone from a single lane. You guys get the drift. So a lot of their game plan is built around Olden being safe the whole time, recouping costs um, by having you waste attacks on gates, having you fail attacks on 3 HP units, Ballista Defender on your stuff. And then we haven't even gotten to the champions yet, but you guys will find out. I think Grundor's Tower is too costly. It's a 4 cost. Yeah, it's a 4 cost kind of expand game.
I've never actually seen this
I'm running
card
out
be
of
played.
metaphors for that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool, but it's pretty situational. I don't really need to encroach on your territory. As a defensive player, I prefer the Guild Dwarves very much at home. They're very strong at home. So I don't really. If you want to, you can plop this guy down somewhere and then just shift him around with Guild Engineers and then expand into the opponent's territory. But I don't really see why I need to do that. So for me, it's just an expensive 4 range attack. Um, it's cool. It's got uses. If you got that money to burn, go for it. But nah. On the other hand, the other 2 champs are nuts. We got Dwarf, which is just always continuously going to generate value as long as you can keep him protected. And a follow-up 3 melee on, past the barrier is no joke. Like, keep hitting 3 past a gate, that's nuts. So a lot of good stuff here, especially if you can force the enemy into that situation. I guess this is one reason why, you would want to push up on your opponent's territory. So you can really force the issue, right? With battering rams and dwarf. Really, put them on the spot so that you can battering ram or you can dwarf all their stuff. But even on the defensive, he's still just as good. This guy's just nuts. So worth a spot. And then we got Logic Baldo over here, Grundor. Oh no, he's light. What the heck happened? That's nuts.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Grundor. Grundor is just nuts. 3 cost, 2/5. That's like he's 1 cost over the usual 2/5 stat line, right? Because you pay 2 cost for
5/2. Yeah.
Crimson Order pays 2 for their warriors, etc., etc. 2 for Rust Riders and Sand Goblins. This guy is 1 over, but I think the kicker here is that he can build structures diagonally. So he acts as an extension of Olden, and he really helps push the offensive. This guy's a push card. You do offensive plays with Grundor, or otherwise tricky plays, because from defensive you're not really gonna find much use of Grundor because you already have access to all those spaces. So Grundor lets you access weird stuff, like if you park him off the front of a gate, suddenly you can block the sides of that gate and really crowd. Or if you get him next to a summoner, suddenly the summoner has no escape because you parked all the shit in front of their summoner, and suddenly they're dead. So, yeah, Grundor is nuts. Grundor is nuts, and he lets you get stuff from your deck or discard pile, right? Yeah, nuts.
It's a crazy
nuts.
card. Yeah,
crazy card. Yep.
Grundor, I agree. I think the highlight of this deck is definitely, in general, supply cache, as you pointed out. Like, this card just makes all your cards really good. Like, like you said, 3 range dice or 4 range dice. Blueprints is also just an absurd card. I think this might be the most powerful event in the game, like for this deck specifically. But this deck is this card is absurd. I'm curious. So why currently? So the interesting thing is when I talk to other playtesters, for example, I don't want to spoil Allies too much, but he does have Guild Dwarves above Drake's Sun Rebellion. And I know when I was talking to Vexer, he thought that Guild Dwarves were the most busted thing ever to be invented. So what is your reasoning for having Guild Dwarves below, I guess, Drake's Sun?
I think it's weird, right? Because in general, I'm happy to play a range game against a range faction, and they don't really threaten you much, but I think they do win the long game if you keep doing that, if you meet them where they're at. So I think one of their weaknesses is their immobility. So any way that you can reshape the battlefield and force wasted investments on the Guild Dwarf side, like ask them to build on one side, take the battlefront there one moment, and then um, a good Guild Dwarves player is gonna bring the battlefront to that side. Like they're not gonna leave targets for you on the other side of the board. So sometimes this is not an option. But wherever you can force awkward configurations where they can't get to stuff, uh, they crowd their stuff a lot.
That's
They
true.
crowd their side of the board a lot, and so you need to find angles of attack where it's awkward for them
Hmm.
to hit you back. It's the usual math of Summoner Wars, right? You need to attack and not be counterattacked so hard in response. So you do the same thing with Guild Wars. You exploit their immobility, and I think they're up there. I might be miscalibrated on where they're at. They might be S tier over Drake's Son, but man, I don't know. I think Drake's Son beats out Guild Dwarves just because they can clear your. They bypass greater engage. They can clear your 3 HP units with the Dragon Pair,
Hmm.
um, Pyra, and Brimstorm. Uh, and you need to discard a lot to meet the tempo of Drake's Son, so sometimes that's going to be costly. I think Guild Dwarves is fine to play that against Drake's Son. I think they're also happy to discard. It's not that they're precious about any particular card, really. So, yeah, I think this is a case where maybe I miscalibrated on Guild Dwarves, but I think they're still plenty strong.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and I can
Yeah.
clearly hear that. Yeah, from the way you talk about them, I think I agree. I think that they're very strong. I think both decks are super strong, and I could easily see
Yeah.
one or the other um,
Yeah.
being the meta or like you said S tier. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
you are getting slandered in chat for Polar Dwarves. I will say though, Beast, this is a very popular take. I don't want to spoil too much, but Polar Dwarves is not like I was very surprised where people put Polar Dwarves. I'll say that. So if you want,
Yeah. Well, I think what I'm really thinking at is pretty holistic. Like the matchup neutral stuff are all at the top. Again, usual creme de la creme, usual predators are at the top. And you can shuffle them around, right? Like I don't think anyone's gonna disagree. Savannah Elves, you can put them in S tier. Wayfarers, you can put them in S tier, sure. And then not a whole lot of people are going to disagree about Mountain Vargath and Tundra Orcs being an A tier because they're just so neutral. They're just so neutral, tending positive against a lot of factions. Crimson Order are just vanilla. If they get to play their game, they're just consistent A. Uh, I don't think they beat out S tier factions consistently enough. I think S tier factions edge them out from being S tier.
Mhm.
Um, so I think that's the S tier and A tier covered. Where the B tier is at, it's a little bit more biased, but hear me out. So I think Trozen Grove might be at the top of B tier.
Mm.
I think they're a neutral faction that is one-dimensional, like Ciabatta said. So I think they're close to something like Mountain Vargath, Tundra Orcs. They're gonna play the trading game with you. They're gonna play the stall game, swarm around the tree, all that stuff. Uh, yeah, I think they might be the top of B tier, but since I'm a filthy Storm Goblins bias shill, I think
Nice,
Storm
nice.
Goblins has a lot of. I'm always happy to play the Storm Goblins because I'm always playing that trading calculus.
Mm.
Um, there's a lot of things that you can do with them. They've just got many clever spots and many ways to reach. I think the one thing that probably makes me want to put them lower is actually Fallen Kingdom because Fallen Kingdom
Agreed.
is kind of back to their old glory. Blood Summon is still bullshit, but less bullshit. And they will still eat you alive. Fallen Kingdom is the king of preying on midfield summoners. If your summoner is ever on the midfield, it's you're at their mercy. They're gonna kill you. That's it. There's no negotiation. And so for someone like Storm Goblins, player like me, Fallen Kingdom is gonna eat Thrak alive. There's no hiding behind gates. There's no hiding behind striders. You can't grounded forever. They're gonna eat your stuff up with carriers all day. So I think if there's anything to switch, probably Fallen Kingdom and Storm Goblins. Chosen Grove to the top too. Um, yeah, and I'd probably shift Deepwood Groaks maybe beside Chosen Grove. Deepwood Groaks is another neutral, uh, possibly tending positive faction. I need to play them some more. I admitted in chat that I didn't get to play Deepwood Groaks at all post nerf much, but I have been playing them again, and it's still the same good stuff, right? What changed with Deepwood Groaks? Really, it's just heck can't chant of power a warrior anymore. That's it. That's really it. In the
Mm-hmm.
past, the only thing that she really did different was, I don't know, boost a seer also on the spot immediately. But besides that, the deck is still as good as it ever was. So nothing really changed with the Deepwood Groaks. They even got better with the starting setup changes. So I think, if anything, Deepwood Groaks is top B, if not verging on
Mm.
A tier. So yeah, uh, I think still a good faction. I think Sky Spear Avians is also right there. I think one of the things that really stops Sky Spear Avians from really going too high on people's lists is that their costs are so prohibitive. It's a 1-1-2-2 cost spread, and you have to trade to get what you get, or you have to burn and force a tempo game on the enemy, dive in, clog their gates, all that stuff. But I don't know. There's something there's something with the Sky Spear Avians that's not not 100%. Don't get me wrong, like all their usual stuff is strong, but I really think a lot of the thing that's holding them back is the costing. But you don't hear me say the same thing about Savannah Elves because a lot of their stuff is too cost. Yeah, Sky Spear Avians just lacks a little something, and I think if you can get good plays with Gathering Song and really trade up like that, like take two commons and then pull your commons back, that's a huge win for the Sky Spear Avians. That's a big way that they get their mileage out. Um, Also, trading at range with Steward and Sage. That's that's one way that you can stretch value out of your stuff. But I don't know. I feel like all the other factions just kind of all the other S tier, A tier factions will do just fine against the
Avians.
Avians, despite all that I said.
True.
So I think that's why they're down there.
Yeah, I think
And then
the.
yeah,
Okay. Mhm.
oh no, go for it.
I think to your point with the Groaks, I think they kind of struggle for being a faction which is pretty complex in terms of like you need a game plan. Like some factions you need to play Wither Potion against.
Yeah,
It's very much like it's very knowledge heavy, and also like it is a faction where you need to plan ahead with boosts based off how they switch the summoner's ability. So yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely really strong, but it's hard to know how strong it is just because you do need a lot of time invested in it. I feel like to get results from it.
yeah, that's also what I said in the forums here. I think as a faction, the Deepwood Groaks are almost always playing for the next turn.
Yeah, that's
Is
a great.
is what how I see them. It's like I yeah, I'm gonna hit your stuff, but I'm not really doing any proactive play. I'm not out here trying to assassinate you, right? Like
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not doing anything proactive. I'm not here really trying to chip at your gates. I've got better targets. I'm trying to deter you from playing commons by building up a seer, sure. But, for the most part, a lot of their stuff is like investing. Until you get your Swift, until you get your Strong, you're not really doing anything proactive with them.
Mhm.
So, but once you get your Swift, suddenly you've got Heck, Mystic, on a single lane battery against your summoner, hitting you for, I don't know, X dice.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So until then, like, they're still solid. That's the thing, because you got Wardens farming for boost. Um, I think Warden positioning is so wild and so key. Like, I watch people spend 2 for a Warden and then park it behind a gate, and I'm always so puzzled. Like, when is that thing gonna get into the game? I understand the concept, I understand the reason, but it's like, it's things like that frustrate me with the Deepwood Grokes. It's like,
Mm.
I understand what you're trying to do here, but similar to the Swamp Orcs, it makes me feel so claustrophobic, and it makes me feel like I'm spending on something that I might not ever get to use, or if I do get to use it, they get first hit on it. By the time that I poke my Warden out from behind a gate where it was farming boosts from, it's, yeah, I did farm boosts from it, but
Mm.
I never got to use dice, so they're gonna hit it from range first thing, and now it's a weaker. It's not a 2/5 anymore,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, you know, it, I understand the faction. I understand how to play it. I will watch everyone's reviews and I will play like everyone plays them. I will
Mm.
just never understand,
Hello.
why, and it hurts my soul when I see that I need to do that. And finally, we're at the end of the B list where I think I'm severely miscalibrated. Nestle will hang my head for this. Isle of Vecid has no. Well, I'm so defensive that my game as Isle of Vecid is, I love them, but I also hate how I am how I am with these folks. Like, I will play the dancer game to death. Like, that's, if you know the dancer Roko poke, that's what I like about this game. But I am so inflexible with the Isle of Vecid. I always force the game like that. I lack nuance with them. And so that's why I put them at the end of B tier. Whereas in the hands of a more specialized player, or just a generally skilled player that can switch on the go, like Nestle will take these guys to S tier, A tier. I think they are matchup neutral,
Mm.
but when I look at them, the things that they incentivize, I want to squeeze the hell out of it. Like,
Mm.
controlling the battlefront, doubling up on your dudes with a sniper and whatever from safety. Like, I want to do that all day. I don't want to. I don't want to spend 3 on a crab knight and meet you in the middle. Like, I always cringe when my crab knight gets hit. That's my baby. Stop hitting my baby. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
stop.
It's a lot of
I
magic.
spent 3 on that thing, bruh. So, I think these guys deserve, much better than B, for sure. But yeah, yeah, I just can't. I can't switch on them.
Mm.
Yep. And so I I think, besides some debatable B listers like Storm Goblins and Sky Spear,
Mhm.
um, I think the list is still holding up. And then we get to the weird part, Swamp Orcs, Fungal Dwarves. I think Fungal Dwarves is suffering from just bad matchups. And I think more and more factions have the ability to kite the Fungal Dwarves and force them out of where they want to take the fight. It- it's just so, they're strong. They're strong, but they suffer from double randoms. That is, can you land your 3/3s? Can you can you land your beast dice? 1. And 2,
True.
can you draw your engine pieces in a good order? Right. You can play defensive until then, but what if you don't have the option to? What if you spend all that time sitting in the back waiting to draw the right pieces while they whittle away at your, you know, subpar front? So, um, once they get going, they're the usual fungal dwarves that we know. But besides that, I think, I don't know, Koldak should probably go back to 13 HP. Aaron, I think you're right. I think we were all wrong all along. And yeah, I I I think against the usual cast of S tier, A tier factions, um, there's a game to be had. Uh, they got good matchups in there somewhere. I think they'll do fine against Guild Dwarves. They can try to land their 3 out of 3s. I mean, uh, I think they have a good shot against the Wayfarers. Crimson Order, yeah. Uh, they can force a confrontation on Mountain Vargath, but the more range factions, the more get to you factions like Sand Goblins, Filth, Shadow Elves, they'll just kill you on the spot. Drake Sun's not even gonna let you breathe. Like they're there turn 1. You
True.
just gotta deal with it. Cloaks, I think they might have a good chance of, but this is only because I still remember Astro's game against Vexer, and yeah, I'm not gonna spoil who won that, but yeah, I think Fungal Dwarfs has a game against Cloaks. Um, yeah, Swamp Orcs on C tier. I always feel claustrophobic as the Swamp Orcs. I feel like I'm crowding my stuff. I feel like I'm playing on the backfield, and I don't have as much reach, and I don't know where to gate. Uh, I don't know how to extend out when I should extend out. I do know that I'm threatening as all hell. Like when when I'm on the other side of the board looking at Muglug sitting pretty on a swamp, I feel scared as fuck to try and dive in. Right, I'm not gonna. But as a Swamp Orcs player, sitting on that back and learning how to be comfy with it and rationing my movement points and all that stuff, it's tricky. They hit strong, but but yeah, and I think they're also one of the reasons why Storm Goblins doesn't deserve to be in B tier because Storm Goblins is perfect prey for Swamp Orcs, but also Swamp Orcs is also the perfect prey for Storm Goblins. So I think whoever gets first dibs on um, or the first hit, like a bad overcharge on the swamp is gonna wreck your stuff up. But at the same time, you're you're not safe as Thrak. So
Yep.
and yeah, Swamp Orcs matches well against the other factions just fine. It's just their game plan is a little bit more airtight. It's a little bit more airtight. They will trade up against 5 HP commons, you know, like it's a Tuesday, but I don't know. The fact that they can't really that they need to, shell up, it's a feeling, it's a vibe, and it's not a nice feeling for me. I like playing defensive. I am that player, but for some reason I can't shake off the feeling that I'm gonna lose if I'm playing Swamp Orcs, even though that's never the case. So it's a particular feeling with them, and it's also the difficulty of piloting them. Their usual stuff is still strong, like Witch Sow, Emerge, Witch Sow, all that stuff. It's still the usual strong. Until then, they'll trade up with Mug or whoever, but they're all right.
Mm.
Yeah. And yeah, I think Swamp Orcs and High Elves might be the mistakes of this tier list. High Elves, I don't know. I love High Elves. Prophet and the Sand Goblins players, like all the Div 1 players, got me into this game. One of my first few learning experiences in this game was how to maximize High Elves auras for yourself and not for your enemy. So I love them as much as the next guy. I think it's kind of a similar feeling to the Swamp Orcs. It can be very claustrophobic, but this time it's different because even when I'm playing from the back row or the second row or the third row, I'm hitting you with a tough priest, a 3/3 tough priest, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's as good as it gets. That's nuts.
range
That's
game.
nuts.
They're unbeaten. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not like their melee game is bad too. Like,
Mm-hmm.
justices hitting you for 4, loyalty, assassinations, and all that stuff. They're flexible, and they probably deserve to be. They probably are higher than the Sky Spear Avians here.
Mm.
Uh, I'd argue, and then Storm Goblins probably should go into C tier. Sky Spear go into C tier. Swamp Orcs top of C maybe,
Mm.
if not Fungal Dwarves. It's hard to argue where Fungal Dwarves is at personally. I don't know if they should be in B or if they should be top of C because the double randoms really hurt.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's all these relative judgment calls. I think for the most part, I am wrong about the High Elves, Swamp Orcs, Sky Spear, and Storm Goblins, and I
Mm.
think the rest are probably solid where they're at, and Isle of Ekid too. Yeah, High Elves usual strong, uh, forged, and Phoenix. Ah, boy. I mean, how much time do we have to get into all of these detail? Sure.
Up to you. I'm hoping to get. So we are an hour and a half into stream.
Yeah.
I mean, I would prioritize things which you find important, I guess.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha. Yeah, then the Shimmer Sea Fate. No, just kidding. Well, so the Forge and the Phoenix Elves, both good fire factions. I think Forge suffer from just 10 HP melee inventor, but they're the usual game plan: crowd your stuff out with structures, blow them up. Astro Builder is nuts.
Mhm.
All that usual Forge stuff. Modular, get crazy with that. Same with Phoenix Elves. I don't know why Phoenix Elves is. Maybe it's the 9 HP Maldaria, and more people have ways to get to her,
I agree.
despite Save the Queen. And I think that really hurts them a lot. And so that's why they can't ever rise above B, if not high C.
Mm-mm.
Eternal Council, I never know how to approach the enemy with, and keep Edia safe. It's more like, how much can you threaten enough that you can sustain, that threat? Edia is probably safest in like row 3
Mm.
with a full insight, and maybe at row 4, pushing row 4 or row 5 into your opponent territory. That's a different kind of skill, and it's a different kind of way to secure the position because they don't have many tricks. They've got advisors. They could probably spot steal with Psychic Assault to kill you before the move phase or something like that. But it's hard securing the position with Edia and keeping her safe. That's a part. It's probably like a shoot and scoot game for all game.
Mm.
Advisors and Edia hide Edia after the advisor hit, but I don't know. It's
Yeah. For me, Eternal Council was hard. Like I think you're right. It's hard to know what to do. I think the person who
yeah.
helped me the most with it was watching Lime play during I think
Who's
last. I think they represented Lime. Lime represented Eternal Council. They're relatively new, I think, right?
Oh, Lime.
Yeah.
Lime. Yeah. Lime is a fantastic Eternal Council player. Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that.
And watching them
What
play.
did you notice?
Huh?
What did you notice about his playstyle with him?
They seem to be similar. They seem to be like they play them kind of more like hit and run sort of thing. Get
Mhm.
some good value of Edia. Either like I think again it's one of those factions where you kind of need to know the matchups. Like, do you push up Edia first, or do you wait to build up tempo and then push up Edia, or is it one of those factions you go up with Edia quickly, get a lot of value out of her, and then hide her in the corner for the rest of the game, right? A lot of course, shenanigans with, like you said, pushing Edia all over the place with the Seers. Um, but yeah, I think it is one of those factions you just have to play a lot with and just see, how do I approach which matchup um,
Yeah,
with which cards. Yeah.
right. It's interesting. They're my most 50-50 faction in all the games that I've played. Like I win
Mm.
as much as I lose with them. Other factions I um, win more with generally. So it shows you like I just don't know what to do
Mm.
with the Eternal Council. It's like build up a threat and then what? Deter. Deter the opponent from responding because they don't want to eat into that, 8 insight hit. Okay. Yeah, strong. Still a strong faction. It's just a tricky game plan.
Mhm.
Same thing with the Obsidian Dwarves. They're even more at the mercy of double randoms. Um, landing your dice, landing your dice correctly, mind you, and draw as well. Like they can suffer for all those reasons. Never drawing your willpowers, not drawing your guards. I think the player has
Mhm.
a very interesting way to play them, which is pretty much always forward. And in my games against me, I've noticed that to keep cycling your hand, he will summon units and just like park a berserker right off the summon spot. Just park it there.
Mm.
That was the strangest thing to me, and I was like, why would you spend 2 and not activate your guard or your berserker that same turn? Like a guard, I would understand, duh, but a berserker,
Mhm.
why? So unless you're trying to cycle, yeah, I think there's depth to playing the dwarves, but you're still at the mercy of being unsafe. Balzar has 13 HP, so you got some room to work with, but
Mhm.
guards, uh, berserkers, like you need to make good mileage out of all that wall of health
Yep.
and trade properly. Yeah, and then polar dwarves, really, really, chat. You guys are gonna hang me up for this one. Polar dwarves, really, really, seriously, guys. Like, I'd say breakers probably got one up on them. I don't know. The polar dwarves, they're not weak. You know, none of these factions are weak. Shit, we haven't even gotten to the strongest faction yet of all time. So, polar dwarves are just too slow and too static
Mm.
for me. They have proactive plays, and ice mages are fantastic for one cost. So you need to play into the slowness and the staticness of your formations to really get mileage out of the polar dwarves. But sometimes for me, the fact that you don't have the option to, take the fight where you want the fight to be, I feel like when I'm fighting the polar dwarves, I have a choice where I want to take the fight. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yep.
okay, I see you're closed off here on this one side, and it's a little bit more rigid than this open side of yours. So I'm going to take the fight there.
Mm.
And it's not as good, and you're not going to have as easy a time if you're fighting me there than elsewhere. Sure, they're a logic faction, so they get to build ice golems and trap you and all that stuff and fight you with range on their home field. But it always feels like, I don't know. It always feels like a fair game with the polar dwarves. I'm never at risk of dying all of a sudden. We're gonna play a trading game the first 5-7 turns of the game, and then you know it's jury's out whether or not you get an opening on me. I get too many hits or whatever. But until then, I don't know. Barring a crazy turn 1 glacial shift, like why would you even do that?
Mhm.
Turn 1 glacial shift up all the way to the opponent's gates. Maybe there's something there, but you give up a lot to get that position. And when you're there, even when you do push gas pedal on the Polar Dwarves, you have to give up a lot, and it's on you to sustain that position. Once you get Yarman, though, all bets are off, man. You're
Yeah,
probably
Yarman's such a
dead.
good champion.
Yeah, Yarman is so good. Yarman is bonkers. Probably best champ.
Mm.
That champ is a summoner.
Yep.
That
True.
champ should
True.
be a summoner.
True. This champion should
That
be a
champ
summoner.
should be a summoner.
Agreed.
Like, no reason why, Yarman and Svara should have been on, swap or something. Yeah. No, I kid, but this guy's really strong.
Agreed.
Yeah. So yeah, Polar Dwarves, good matchups. Pretty neutral, probably tending negative. Probably closer to 50, but I don't know.
Mm.
They're too static for me. Cave Goblins, yeah. Cave Goblin, same thing. Double randoms.
Yep.
Hard draw. Some dice, maybe, but a lot of it is draw. Like, your 5 cards that you draw every turn are split between events, gates, commons, champions, and so a lot of things can go wrong there. And if they peter out early, they can't sustain early. I don't know. It's weird because they want to push forward. They want to take the fight to you. They don't have to, right? You can park your stuff in the back. You can do that, but then you're just bad. You're not playing your thing. You're not doing your thing. So I don't know. It's rough when it's rough for the Cave Goblin. It's noticeable. Vanguard's probably not so D tier anymore. They're probably top of D tier, verging C.
Mhm.
With updates.
With the Jacob buffs and the heal.
Yeah, Jacob and Mass Heal. Was that
Mass
it?
Heal, yeah, I think Mass Heal and Jacob.
Mass Heal. Did they change Archer any?
I don't think so. No, they did.
No?
Jacob though has the Jacob makes it so it's +1 for archers. Yeah, that's only.
Yeah, but that's
still.
goofy.
Exactly. Agreed.
Yeah, Vanguard still. Vanguard's is one of the reasons why I agree with some of the people in our community. Like, this faction should not be buffed.
Agreed.
Yeah. Vanguard's is a lesson on critical thinking. It's like, yeah, you want 50-50. You really want that, huh?
With Vanguard's games losing.
Consider what that means. Right. And it's the same story for Vanguards. It's the same story for Crimson Order. It's the same story for Fungal Dwarves.
Yeah.
Recursion decks, basically. They, especially an infinite ecosystem, theoretically with Sarah. With Fungal Dwarves, there's kind of a limit, and Crimson Order too. But with Sarah, I mean, the only limit is Sarah's health, and of course having another Knight out or Citadel unit out. But yeah, in general, you don't want to buff the Vanguards past probably 49%, 48% because they're good. I don't know. They can be very oppressive too with their bulk of health and just guarding spirits and holy judgment, hitting your stuff, clearing it, getting a unit back into hand. They can be nuts. And mass heal now costs 0. Like, come on, we'll be here all day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Agreed.
I don't know,
I think that's a great point that there can't be too many strong recursion decks just for a play. Like, imagine being a new player and having to play like a strong Vanguard. Like, my God, Colleen especially. Like, Knights are. There's no argument for Knights being the strongest 2 cost in the game. Just they're so strong. Engage plus protect is just so strong together. Especially if you get Colleen out, the new Jacob's really good.
Colleen is not. Jacob is now more reasonable. Is Jacob 3 cost?
Yeah, 3 cost.
3 cost. Yeah,
it's really good. I think now 3 cost is amazing for what you want from this champion.
Yeah, if you've got like 5 magics to spare, that's still a 3 hit on. Yeah, that's still a 3 hit off of a 3 expenditure.
Yep.
And Valna's a meme. So. Yeah, no. They're good. They're probably top of D now. Top of D, somewhere in C. and I think they're right where they should be. They're like what do you call them? They're like markers for where things should be at. Like this is the upper bound. This is the lower bound. This is a good faction.
Mm-mm-mm.
I think that's what they are. They're like a marker. This is vanguards, and based on that, we can think about where something else is at. Yeah, and that takes us to uh
Your
the
favorite.
babies.
Your favorite. The best
Favorite,
faction in the
my
game.
favorite. Shimmer Sife. Yeah, like I said, it's always on them to prove the advantage. That's why I abuse their range game a lot. I think any faction where I have a zero cost range, maybe not for filth. Actually, I don't do this enough for filth. Like I don't play malignant enough and poke just to poke because the filth are more precious with their commons. Uh, Even though I say that, I never really run out of common summoning spots for some reason. I guess the game just never goes there. I know people say, "Oh, it's part of Filth's economy that they're limited with the number of their commons and blah 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 blah," but it never really gets there. They don't let it get there,
Mm.
so it's not really a weakness. And for the most part, you're going to be summoning off of mutants that your opponent failed to kill. But anyway, so anywhere, any place that has a zero cost range option, I'm on it.
Mm.
I'm on it. You got it. Bet. I'm gonna hit with it. Right. And so for the Fae, a lot of their commons are so frail. It's like 3 HP on the Swarm, 3 HP on the Tiebreaker, 2 HP on the Scout, 2 HP on the Oracle. So how do you really want to spend with a Fae? Are you really gonna spend 1 on a Tiebreaker and get 2 dice in just in passing and then have it cleared out? And then where's the battlefront at afterward? It's closer to their side of the field.
Mm.
So now it's on you again to keep pushing up. And then they're always going to trade favorably into your commons because they're just so weak. That's
True.
why I prefer to play the Fae in bursts. I
Mm.
don't like to play them with just stuff hanging out. I like to, poke with an Oracle. Okay, what are you going to do about it? Okay, you want to play the range game. All right. At least you did something about it. And I didn't have to sacrifice too many things. And so, um, I think mid game, where they're strongest at, is when they're recurring all that value, all that magic into Lyra and Inara. And, making favorable swarm trades. I think um, swarms are best played on oracles. I like summoning oracles because I play swarms on them immediately. I don't like playing swarms on anything else other than damaged commons and oracles. If it's not damaged, I'm not gonna spend 2 on a swarm. And sometimes even if I can spend on a swarm, I'm not gonna spend on a swarm because I want to stay loaded. Like swarms are key to what I want to do to you. Why would I just why would I just spend it just because I can? So a lot of the Fae is like squeezing and compressing value into moments because that's where they're best at. If if you're not squeezing value, um, you're gonna lose a lot of your investments. You're gonna pay 1 for nothing. You're gonna pay 2 for a worse board state when than what you were thinking of. Like it might have been cool to swarm here, but after the fact, you're like, oh, okay, I spent 2 on that, and what did I get? Um, but yeah, I think more people need to discover healing with Nymera too.
Mm.
Especially if you have insurance against a 3 HP target. So say for example it's Nymera and I don't know a 3 HP target. If you've got another attacker, I would risk healing instead. Heal with Nymera, attack for 3, see if it confirms a kill, and if it doesn't, you got your backup attacker. But always look for spots where you heal with Nymera because she's key. The more she stays alive and in the middle of the field, the better you can trade as Shimmer Sife. Simple as. Right? And then yeah, for the offensive stuff, jury's out. Flat Hat Games they said they're thinking about changing Shimmer Sife, improving some
Ooh.
of their stuff.
Nice.
So a lot of the things that I want to do with them are probably going away. If they're gonna push the starting 10 HP gate for Nymera up, that changes a lot. The fact that their gate is on the second row means that they need to come closer to me. Once that gate is on the third row, that's a gate on the third row that I can never pull back. I can't do the same Oracle bullshit anymore. So a lot of things are going to change once they're pushed toward the offensive, and I think maybe in general that's a good thing. There are a lot of dysfunctional stuff in this deck, like Corrales. Waden doesn't really do anything besides, help Nymera a little. Rebuke could probably improve a little. High Tide could probably be any phase or whatever, but yeah, in general, a lot of their low HP stuff and lack of a solid supported game plan makes it hard for them to really do anything against everybody else. But
Nestle says, "You sound like Beast talking about Faye sounds like him telling his child he's disappointed."
yeah, I know. Yep, you guys really let me down on this one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit sad with the Fae, but right now even I'm still happy to queue games as the Fae. I just don't think, I really don't think anyone can take them higher than, I don't know, 1200, 1300. Maybe they can, get somewhere around there, but consistently like 1400, 1500 elo and up.
Yeah, I think what's interesting about them though is that I think people, and again, this is why tier lists matter, like in terms of deck strength, like you said, on average, but they still can surprise people. Like I think Tournament of Champions showed that nicely, where Skiznix, who was it?
Scrivener.
Scrivener, yeah. Scrivener was able to.
Fantastic pilot.
Yep. Just wrong one. But she did amazing in a pretty hard group. And yeah, they had the cool, like, it's one of those things where I think I said this in Discord also, and I think you bring this up. Even though they are arguably the worst deck, they still have so many tricks, and they're probably one of the most fun decks to play. So I'm excited to see where people put them when we eventually do a fun tier list. Like, how much fun does someone have with this deck? I think they'll be a lot higher than last, let's say it that way.
Yeah, if it's a fun tier list, they're probably on the top somewhere because they break phase a lot. Well, actually, it's really just attack-based summoning. And maybe that's, maybe that's the meat and potatoes of it, and that makes them a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I see them being very fun. But again, all those tricks that you mentioned, chairs, are the moments that I'm talking about. If you can compress the Shimmer Sife game plan into moments and really get a lot out of those moments where you're summoning your swarms, where you're doing all this stuff, that's really when they're best at. Because otherwise, if you're just leaving things out, like, okay, here's a Tidebreaker to body block Nymera as I'm going forward, that's disgusting. Like, to me, that's an affront to nature that you're spending one just to have it die. Maybe you're getting at something, but it's just so wasteful. The stuff that I see people do with the Shimmer Sife sometimes looks very wasteful to me. But that's me. I'm a very economic player. Maybe that's their playstyle. Maybe they're doing the Ciabatta thing where you sacrifice a lot of tempo to buy position or whatever. But I don't know. There's other ways to play them.
Yeah, no, 100%. Very cool. All right. Thank you, Beast. I think Astro said they want to go next.
No way. Get on here, Astro.
Get on here, Astro. Let me bring up their list. Oh, already Swamp Orc next tier.
while we're at it, you should be making your tier list. Like, what are you doing, man?
True. I need to.
What's good, Astro?
Hey, Astro.
What's poppin'?
Not too much. I'm on a family computer, so I'm just want to make sure everything's working.
All good.
All right, perfect. So I might look a little weird in the Discord. First off, Nestle, get that timer started. I'm feeling very confident in this one. I just want to take a second, let people marinate in this magnificent list. Like, you don't agree with me, Nestle? What do you mean? I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, no. So Nestle's already kind of picked up on the first one. My tier is unranked at the moment. I have a preamble to this list though, which is I think I kind of teased to Shiraz. I call this list a very boring tier list, but that's because I have a very specific like view on tier lists. I love tier lists. I love discussions around tier lists, but I find a lot of tier lists are really like an insight into the maker's mind. And for me, a tier list kind of needs to measure something. So I'm kind of from a background where like tier lists are a snapshot of the competitive meta at a certain point in time. So my tier list is literally just the average win rates in a Plaid Hat tournament games that I've been tracking for as long as I've been running it.
Oh.
Interesting.
That's the entirety of my. So it's a very boring list. The big thing that can change with it, obviously, is errata and new decks. Hence, the new decks are in the D tier. But other than that, like this is just how the win rates go. Because from my point of view, like I can feel that the Sand Goblins are S tier until the cows come home. But if they're not posting S tier numbers, for me, I can't put them there. I can't justify their position there. So this is how the cookie has crumbled so far over the years. A tier is 50 to 55% win rate. S is 55 to 60. B is 45 50, and C is 40 to 45. So in theory, we should never have anything in the D tier, in my D tier, unless like playtesters really mess up. But I don't think that'll happen. So this is just how things have been going so far in Summoner Wars. It has been updated for a year. The last tournament I checked was last year. I don't know when we're going. Well, 2 years ago now, because technically it's 2026. But it's been a while since we've had a tournament.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we need to have one for me to update
Yeah,
my
we need
list.
to have one. Yeah.
Otherwise it's going to look like this forever.
What do you think would change if there's one? Oh, sorry, go on, Astro.
I was going to say, that's my tier list. I'm done. Boom. Stop the clock, Nestle. Yeah, I'm hiding behind numbers. Yeah, like my opinion of how things rank. I was dragging you about the Polar Dwarf placement, Beast, but honestly, my opinion, I think Polar Dwarves are probably C tier. I think they are a bottom deck. Unless Aaron's just going to like be the only one taking them to tournaments, but I think the nerf hit them harder than people expect. It's going to take a long time for it to reflect in the numbers, but I with the errata, especially like with Polar Dwarfs starting at what was their initial win rates in tournaments, like 60 something. It's been a slow drop for them. With the new decks, my expectation, I would probably put Guild Wars in A, I think is kind of what people have been saying, and then the rest in S.
Interesting. Yeah, Spectral Conclave I see in S for sure. Drakesun probably. Vekid depends on the pilot. I feel like Vekid really depends on the pilot.
Yeah, I was debating the Vekid. It depends on who plays them, but then if a tournament were to happen, they're not going to be a new deck, so I think people who pick them are going to be people who are, it's going to be Nestle. So I could see them, I think they're going to perform very well when they're actually put through a tournament gauntlet, and the only thing that would kind of drag them down are people who are, just less like practiced on them, but I don't think they're going to be a hot faction since they're no longer new. Because they'll be at least like 4 decks old.
I see. So you're not in the Ciabatta Spectral Conclave C tier.
No. I don't main Ciabatta elves, so I don't. I think that deck is nutty.
I agree.
But I think Spectral Conclave and Dark-Thomy are easy S's. I think when they get into tournament formats, they'll be winning games left, right, and center. I can't wait for Lcanela and Lil to have something to campaign against. But The other thing, I guess, with this list is Filth and Chosen Grove have one tournament game, so their placements are very volatile. If the Filth have a mediocre showing next time, they'll drop out of S tier into A. I think they're like 1 point over. But I mean, they could also do 60% or something. I know Cloaks had a couple of 60% tournament showings, so.
Yeah, I think Filth will probably be the one, if not the most picked deck next Plat Hat tournament, whenever it is. If like things stay as they are, just because they're very strong and they're like, I feel like they're not like beginner friendly, but they're definitely not the most complicated deck in terms of winning with them, just because they do have so many good tools.
Well, I keep expecting the player base to pick based on like meta, and they never do. Like, people are staunchly playing just what they want to play. So I don't see a lot of Filth in the queue, and in the channel, like, there's maybe 3 of us defending the faction. I think more people will pick them, but I don't know if they'll take over. Like, the Shadows, the last tournament they were in, there were a lot of Shadow Elf players, but that was like the first time they showed up, even though people have been saying Shadow Elves were S tier for how long have they been out? 3 years?
So you think it's going to be, again, a lot of Wayfarers? Basically, I think Wayfarers is usually the most picked, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's like, and new Wayfarers are coming in every day. You shake a tree and 5 Wayfarers players come out. Like, it's crazy. So.
And those Wayfarer players are converting slowly into Drake's on Rebellion players.
Oh, God.
Leading the charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fungal Dwarves are definitely a slow drop as well, Aaron. They're yeah, it's crazy that they're still posting there. I think they're just shy of falling into B. So, if you don't pick them next tournament, they're probably going down to B.
And I think that's an important point here. The truth is somewhere in the middle of like how many people are representing, how many people are it's the numbers game, but also it's the theoretical analysis of the faction too. It's a really strong faction still. Depends on the pilot again.
Yeah.
Like if you have a new player enter the tournament and pilot the Fungal Dwarves just because they like them, then it's gonna be a spectacular fall from grace.
And like, for me, that is how tier lists have always been shaped. So, I'm going to date myself a little way back in the Stone Age. With Smash Brothers, Ice Climbers were considered complete garbage. Nobody thought they were good. They were awful. Never played them. And one player showed up to a tournament, no, community presence or anything ever, completely dominated with it, and demonstrated a way to play them that nobody else had played. And then suddenly Ice Climbers were an S tier character pick, and that is kind of like how I view things. It just takes Beast showing up and taking the Wayfarers all the way to the top. Now Wayfarers are popular, or sorry, Fae are popular, so you're going to have some people who aren't quite into the competitive community dragging them down. But yeah, it can just be 1 or 2 players who really pull up the numbers.
I mean, I think Alovekid being 1500 was almost solely Nestle.
That's true.
I know. I watch this game. They're absurd. Nestle, take a break. This is an intervention. Yeah. No, I do think the deck is strong. I think on its own it would probably be A tier. I just think, like, without them being hot news, they'll just be piloted by really strong players who will push them into S. I think that's the other thing that'll hold the Guild Wars back. I do think it's a strong deck. You kind of covered everything I would say about them, but I think there's going to be enough people who play them that haven't really mastered them, like the Shadow Elves have with the public queue data. Is they'll probably just be held back in A due to those who struggle to
the complexity,
get over their immobility.
Yeah.
No, it's great points. Cool. Anything else you want to add, Astro? Or if you want to stay on, we can go to someone who's not here's list, or someone from chat can come on also. Nestle.
Yeah. I guess like maybe if we do fun tier list, I'll have something more interesting to say. But yeah, this is my tier list.
Hey, Starfire. Did you share a list with
No,
me?
That's me. No, that's me.
Sorry. Cool.
Oh yeah, Lcanela's here. I've been talking smack about you in the chat. Have you come to another place?
Lcanela, if you want to, I have your tier list if you want to go through it. Otherwise, if you don't want to talk about it, we can do it later. Okay, I'll just keep going then. Cool.
Yeah, bring Nestle in.
Nestle, come in.
Aaron.
Does Aaron help him?
Teasing the bot.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Aaron has self-admitted that Fungal Dwarves is not his S tier. Yeah, he's like, oh, they're somewhere in B.
Aaron, stop playing them.
Yeah. Hey, Nestle.
Coward.
Hey, Nestle.
Hey, Nestle.
Hey, is my mic working?
Hello.
Yep.
Good.
Good to meet you, man. First time.
Is it?
Yeah, it's our first time. I think the only game that we've ever played was my Storm Goblins against your Swamp Orcs, if you remember.
Yeah, I was thinking, have I played against you? I don't remember a single game against you.
I always remember my games, so I know my games.
Every single one.
Yep.
So Astro, your part was 10 minutes long. Just so you know.
That was good.
But
I
the
like
discussion of the tier list was 2.5.
No, I like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's a good.
Overall, it was.
As
Now
long
we
as
got to get the clock started for Nestle. Somebody hit the timer.
All right.
Right. So most of the stuff in A tier, as you see, I don't think. I think that in A tier, I just put anything that I don't think that I would be happy with never getting changed again. Let's just say it like that. Like if nobody touched A tier factions again, I think the game would be good. And S tier is like the stuff that is maybe slightly over. In B tier, C, and D is like obviously everything that needs to be bumped up a bit. But that's why like almost everything is in A tier. It's not like Beast's rectangle. So yeah, should I start top down then?
Yep, whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Filth. I think are the strongest deck in the game currently. The thing is, like as like Beast was pointing out, they have some like intentional weakness of for them is supposed to be that they will run out of cultists eventually. But I've had like I fought really good Filth players, and it's like it never comes up really. So they feel like they never have a weakness. They're also just a super flexible faction. They by design they can just pull out a mutant whenever they need one and just suddenly do a bunch of damage or do fly behind you or attack you diagonally or whatever they need for the situation really. And obviously once they get Abomination out, they can just have an 11 health guy do that for them instead. I think the main thing with them is that their boost generation on Demagogue is just insane. It's basically equals like how many cards in a game, like 5 extra cards or something like that. It's like Sarah attacking every turn, but it's not as risky because you don't actually need to attack with Dema. He just needs to be there. The 3 space aura is like insane. It allows you to just be standing around and usually you'll be getting the boosts. So yeah, that's the quick overview of the Filth. Spectre Conclave, honestly, if you asked me like 2 weeks ago, I maybe would have put Spectral Conclave over Filth, but I have played a few games against them that I've like really try-harded, really tried to play around all of their stuff, and it's like they have been falling in my opinion over a bit of time since I've started taking fighting against them a bit more seriously. They're the hardest faction to play against, most likely. You have to think about so many different things, and just how do you position yourself for them to not not be able to screw you up with their depart, but just being placed in very awkward positions by them not being able to run at you and just gate clog you everywhere. And even like in some matchups, mind mages are just a pain in the butt. There's especially against Ilvekid. they're just super hard to play around. Because, well, specifically with Isle-Vekit, they can just, if you have the usual formation of like Dancer plus Rocco Moko, they can just take over the Dancer and then attack Rocco, hide behind the Mind Mage, and then attack with the Mind Mage, which you should never allow. And it's not just that matchup, obviously. Mind Mages are just really good units in general, but you know, the illusions are super hard to play around, and then there you have also this mage that you need to worry about. It becomes really hard. But I do think that the more I play against them, the less strong they become in my mind. It's just because you learn their tricks at some point, but their tricks, you know, they still have tricks. You have to get comfortable with playing, like with Thunderorks, for example. You need to get comfortable with playing big melee guys that they're just big health, and they're fine against them because they hit like a wet towel, wet tissue paper. So like they are not going to take that guy down, but also you're not going to be attacking any illusions with him unless they allow you to. So the thing that you usually do is just place him in an awkward position to make them need to reposition awkwardly, and if they don't do anything about that big champ, you just walk up to a gate and start hitting it, which works. It doesn't feel comfortable to play like that, but it works. Yeah, that's my thinking about Spectral Conclave. I've always feared them whenever I have to face them because I'm like, oh, now I have to think so much. I didn't feel like tryharding right now.
Yeah, I agree.
I was gonna ask you about, Spectral Conclave being the hardest faction to play against when we're approaching your next item on the list, Drake's Son. And for me, whenever I'm facing Drake's Son, whatever the next turn is from the opponent, I just close my eyes and whatever happens, happens. Like they can reach me from anywhere. So you can talk about it, Nestle, but I want to see where your opinions are of what it's like to face them and play them.
Rexan are so weird. I haven't played too much against them. The reason why I put them in S tier, I could have honestly just said Guild Dwarfs and Drakes, and I haven't played enough against. I'm not going to rate them. The reason why I put them in S tier is because I haven't won against them yet. I only have like one timeout win and one win where my opponent didn't play a single turn. But it feels like you need to discard a lot to keep up with their tempo, and then you lose on econ anyways because they feel like wafers in the sense they're super aggressive, but they don't lack the economic disadvantage that wafers have. I feel like wafers, if they go aggressive at you, their units are good in the sense that they have a lot of mobility, but if you just force them to one-on-one trade, you're going to win that, most likely. So you can sacrifice a bit of your economy in order to get to them, in order to survive their assault and just win like that. But Drakeson don't really work like that. You just here deal with this, and all of a sudden you need to still have something in the end game. So you are like, oh, I don't want to discard this card, but I need to, and then it feels like you just need to draw in the right order, draw your deck in the right order. Either that or just roll well, which both of those are out of your control. So it just doesn't feel too good to play against them. But I don't think it's too hard if you draw well. And who knows? Maybe I'm just missing something, and I hope I am. They aren't too unfun to play against. It's just annoying when you just don't roll well for like 1.5 turns in a row, and all of a sudden you're losing because of that. Because it's so tempo centric.
Good point.
That's the way I see them. But yeah, honestly, I might be missing something big about them, and I'm hoping I am.
Yeah, Oh, go on.
You go on. I was going to go to the cloaks.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I've had the opposite experience where I've been beating them often, but I'm not sure if it's because, like I said, I have been doing it. To be fair, I've not played too many experienced players, so we'll see. I have to ask Astro or Beast to play me in a private game. Um, but yeah, no, I'm curious. I'm curious to see, like you said, how they end up being.
Yeah, I'm surprised whenever someone says that they have a good win rate against them because I'm like, how? I'm trying my best here.
Yeah.
Yeah, such a faction. And also Cole is like insane. Maybe
Yeah.
the most okay, the most BS champion in the game, I would say, because the whole faction is like turtle against me, you need to do this. And all of a sudden, oh well, you didn't play around Cole. How else was I supposed to play? And so every game against them is just like, oh, I hope they won't play Cole, or I hope it will come at an inopportune time, or something like that. Because yeah, I don't know what else to do. But yeah, I hope they are. I'm having fun experiencing how I'm learning how to play against them. So I don't necessarily have the biggest issue with them, but they do seem overtuned for me. They do seem overtuned in my opinion.
Mm.
Right. So next up is Cloaks. Cloaks, I think, strong faction, but I don't know how to play them. I'm trying to not be biased in this tier
What?
list.
No way. You're kidding, Nestle. You're actually kidding.
You think you imagine that we know how to play them, or
What the heck? Wait, I need to look at your
Nestle's just been
replay.
on Grognak too long.
I have not played Cloaks like in so long. And the time I played them, it was like against Spectrum Conclave the last time I played them. So I don't know if I just don't know how to play them, but also like I'm looking at turns that other people are making, and I'm just like, I wouldn't have done that, but it was a good turn. I should have done that, you know? Maybe I just need to explore them more, but whenever I fight them, that's when I feel their strength. That's why I put them in S tier. It's like you can't play around everything that they have. They have so many tricks.
I feel like you'd be good on them,
Yeah,
Nestle, if you ever got into them. You probably need to spend like a couple of days, but I'm sure, like the way you play Tundra Orcs or other decks, like you kind of do like the combo sort of stuff. They are more, they kind of play, they're not as bulky as Isle Vikid or Tundra Orcs, but they are very combo-y, similar to those two factions can be.
yeah, maybe. Honestly, they don't seem like they would appeal to me too much, honestly, either. So I don't know if I will, but who knows? Maybe I'm just underestimating myself. But yeah, I don't have much to say about them because of that. They're just a strong deck. So it's so hard to fight as Thunder Orcs as well. Whenever you have like a deck that just rushes with their summoner first, they just explode. Similar to Fallen Kingdom, but Cloaks have like more advantages that the Fallen Kingdom have. Right. And Savannah Elves, I don't think I have much to say about them either. Just a really good deck, really good commons. I think people underappreciate their champs as well, although outside of the tree. They're non-tree champs. Mithi Kairu and Mithi Mekindaru, actually. Mithi Kairu and Mekindaru, they're one of the best champions in the game. Mekindaru might be like up there, maybe the best one. Who knows? Because she also just works really well with the deck, obviously. And Mithi Kairu is just, I don't know why he has four attack, but him having 4 attack makes him like insane. Especially since you can attack twice in the same lane with him. And they're just explosive turns are like so hard to play against. Right. So that's my S tier. I don't think there was anything controversial in that. I feel like I was pretty pretty mundane with what I put in S tier, honestly.
I don't want to sound like a criticism, but your S tier is kind of what I expect people's S tiers to be. So the fact that yours is so different from everybody else's that's come so far is quite interesting to me.
Yeah, I imagined everyone would be like this, just like, oh yeah, the generally strong faction number 1, the generally strong faction number 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Also, we haven't gone to the spicy ones yet, to be honest. Like, there's a lot
Yeah.
more spicy than we've
Mostly
had.
the only thing that's like missing for me is the Shadow Elves, but other than that, it's like, yeah, this is what I would think an S tier is.
Yeah, honestly, the top 4 factions in A tier are like kind of just S tier light. Like I just see them as like a step below, but almost there, you know. Swamp orcs, like when you fight them, you feel like you are weaker. Like your opponent, when you're fighting a good player, you just feel like your opponent is just going to explode whatever you do, unless you like have some faction that can really counter them, like cave goblins or wafers potentially. But most of the time, you just you can feel your opponent being just a tiny bit stronger than you, I feel like. And the same goes with sand goblins and with high elves and with shadow elves, but I don't find them to be as good as some of the other S tiers, so I just put them in at the top of A. Right, should I just go quickly through the A tier because there's a lot to go through here?
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe, for example, why you didn't put Shadow Elves in S tier would be a good one. And then just like the outliers, I guess, Fallen Kingdoms, and then if you want to talk about, of course, Isle Vikid and Tundra Orcs a little bit.
I mean, if we could press them on them, I would love to hear your discussion on Fallen Kingdom, because I suspect you put them up here due to the errata, and I haven't faced a lot of them in the queue.
I put them up there because of the errata, yes. I feel like before the errata, they still would have been in the A tier. And I never felt like they were. I feel like people before were saying they were B tier, but I never felt that. I felt like they were maybe just A minus, but not really. Just a good deck still. You never face Fallen Kingdom and are like, phew, this is going to be a breeze. Especially with decks like Tundra Orcs, they can just die to them potentially, or like any faction that uses their summoner a lot,
So
or
is
needs
this
to
the
get in
extra
close.
health or Goldas that is, or the starting setup that you think like really pushing them forward?
The health and the starting setup, honestly, like it's just an extra unit. That's never bad. And the starting setup is just your first turns are not as good against them now. And when you're fighting good players, you know they really push that use every drop out of Rat's health that they can with as much value as possible. Especially if Rat is like forward, they just summon warriors every turn, and that's really hard to deal with. But also like Fallen Kingdom, it's once you get used to how to fight them, they aren't the hardest faction to fight in the game. You know, once you learn to not play to not run into those blood summons, to maybe take some risks at some point, like, oh, if they have a blood summon and 3 warriors here, then I'm dead. But what are the odds, you know? once you learn to just take a bit of a risk and to, you know, minimize that risk is the main thing, then you're set. And so they're not the hardest faction to play, but they also are very draw reliant. Once if Fallen Kingdom draws badly, it can really hurt them. So I think that's why Guldas the buff to Guldas is good, because it makes them a bit less draw reliant, because now you're like, oh, I'm going to discard these cards in order to get to my other champ instead. But yeah, just relatively strong deck. Maybe I don't see them going up from this, honestly, but maybe they will go down because I don't know if I'm overvaluing the 2 health and the starting setup, but I put them there more out of principle. I have had success fighting them since then, mostly since the buff. But yeah, you never know if I'm just playing decks that do good into them, or if I'm just or if I just know how to deal with them while most people don't know, or something like that, you know.
Would you you said A tier is decks you would not change. I guess for maybe I don't want to go too much into balance here, but I guess talking about that. So for Phoenix Elves, would you want to change their Maldara's health, or would you like to change? I guess the other one is zero cost Blinding Flare. Blinding, is that what it's called? Like the tournament.
Oh right. Blinding Flare would be appreciated. I don't think it necessarily needs to cost 1, but it's also like it's still like it's a 0.5 cost event, you know. It's not necessarily. It's like if it costs 1 or if it costs 2, it doesn't make much of a difference in my mind. I guess I'll just say it like that.
Okay, it's just discard in your opinion, unless it's like very specific situation.
Yeah, it's like freeze. If it's good in that turn, you play it. But if it's not good in that turn, you discard it because you're not going to save up. You're not going to be like, oh, this is going to be good next turn. Let's save it. I don't think I've ever heard someone say that about Blinding Flare. Or if it's like at the end of your deck, and then you don't have much else to spend your magic on anyways.
Okay, last question by me then. For breakers, what would you change about them?
Zero cost blast.
That makes
But
sense.
I think that's a bit more like, yeah, the blast should cost 0 instead of being like, blast costs like 0.5, so it doesn't make much of a difference. No, the blast should cost 0. I think it's more clear and cut for me there. It's also just the fact that like I think breakers have a bit of an issue in the sense that like stuff like mind control and mind capture works for one playstyle, and then you have like our ranged units which works with another playstyle. So they have a bit of a mismatch there. So I think that makes them a bit harder to play, but also like that doesn't mean they're weak. It just means that they're hard to play, you know. So maybe they could be in A tier, but like then I would put everything in A tier. So
Except the Fate.
yeah, Fake and stay
in S tier.
it can be like full A tier, nothing in B, nothing in C, and then D tier Fake.
Yeah, I was about to say this list is very safe. Like you put all of the contentious middle factions all in A, and then you've got your safe B, C, D.
Yeah. Well, I was also trying to order them in like the sense which one is stronger than the other, but I don't think there's much contention there either.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's cool. I say that Thunderworks are better than Star Goblins. That doesn't mean too much, really.
Cool. Thank you so much, Nestle. That was very insightful and very fun. Of course, you can stay in chat if you want to. So I think next up, no, Loon is if they have time. Or
Well, we've got Lcanela in chat, and he's unmuted.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah. Should we go over your tier lists, Lcanela?
Are you here?
Oh, maybe their mic's not working. We can go over it. I think they messaged me that they have dinner soon. Or are you here?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, guys. Hello. How are you? How are you doing?
Hey.
Hey.
Nice to hear
Nice
from
to
you.
meet you. I think it was muted. I mean, I unmuted the Discord, but I had the laptop muted on the other side, so this is why you couldn't hear me.
Ah,
Yeah, maybe we can do my tier list.
Yes, I put it up.
It will not be too long because yeah, I probably have to go for dinner soon. But yeah, also I don't want to say too many things. I don't even remember what I put in the tier list, honestly. Also, very quick. For me, it's very difficult to really say what is stronger or not because there are so. I mean, uh, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I can only say what I feel sometimes. Some of the decks I know where to place them, like the field, for example.
Mhm.
But there are many that I have no idea. It could be good, but I have not played them enough to have a real opinion.
Mm.
So is this mine?
Yeah, this is yours.
Okay. I don't even remember. Okay. Yeah, well, the field, I think they are a very strong deck in general. They have many tools. They have recursion. Some people say they don't have good echo. Uh, I don't know with they can gather so many boosts, and it means they can retrieve the mutations, and it means this is a bit of echo, right? So it's I know there are limitations because they have the zero cost units, which are not unlimited. So that's a limit that they have. But especially, yeah, I'm sure you know I'm complaining a lot about Abomination
Mhm.
recently. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I feel many games it feels so unfair that not against me because I'm playing them now just to learn, uh, but then many times I just summon Abomination and everything changes and then I win. Like it feels unfair. That's what I feel, and I feel bad for the others when I summon. So this is why I feel okay, like maybe we should do something. But there are people who are more experienced and they say that they feel it's fine. So I'm not very sure. Maybe it's not Abomination alone as a card, but maybe it's the whole context. Because if you don't have so many boosts, then Abomination is not so strong. So, but I think something in the synergy of the overall deck is making the deck to be a bit too strong. And what I feel is Abomination at the moment, but could be something else that is making Abomination to be too strong. So this is my opinion. Okay, that's what I feel
Yep.
about them. Then Sand Goblins, yeah, I think they are very strong. Um, I don't know if there are many people playing them. This is why not many people complain. I remember a long time back, I saw a game. I think it was Prophet that was playing Sand Goblins, and he started using this mega wall or whatever, mega gate.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember one match that I was watching, and I thought, oh my god, this is so. It doesn't feel right, you know. It's like difficult to counter. It's 10 life that you have to hit. It can move. I know it's not a reliable strategy, so this is why maybe it's not broken. Uh, but when it works, when you get the draw correctly and everything, it's very difficult to for some decks to counter. I remember one of the first time I saw that, or maybe not the first, but I saw one example of a game that was really it felt very unfair. And I sent the link to Joe and I said, Joe, please, this is why I think this should be maybe nerfed or something. So that's I think Sand Goblins they also are very well rounded. They have many tools for many game styles. You can do many different strategies. They can adapt. The good thing that keeps them in check, I think, is that the Krosk is life is only 10. So maybe he has to be very careful, and some decks can kill him. So maybe this is why, and not many people use them. For example, I like them a lot. I don't play them because I feel like I have a headache. You know, they have so many options.
Mm.
Do you guys feel the same? I mean, am I alone here? Because they have so many things that when you see all the options and you have to choose what is the best you can do, it's like, oh my god, I'm not sure. And sometimes I don't feel like I want to play like easy sometimes, and I don't want to have a headache. But yeah, I think they're very strong. When I say like that, I don't see them much. I just say put them there because I think they have the potential to be very, very, very strong. Not many people play them, but this is my feeling.
Hmm.
Regarding Spectral Conclave, yeah, I think they're very strong, and I think in the latest statistics from Joe, I think there were 55 win rate, 55%, if I'm not wrong. And I think they're a bit overtuned. Uh, yeah, it's difficult. With all of these depart, they can reach you. Sometimes you feel you are safe, and they reach you, and yeah. But I'm not sure if it's because of the decks I normally play, or because everyone is feeling the same. Maybe they are weak against some decks I normally don't play. I'm not very sure, but in my feeling, I think they are very strong. Shadow Elves again is the same. Not many people are playing them now, but when they're in the right hands, they feel very very strong. They could be a tier. I mean the tier. Sorry. Uh, I mean because I don't feel like they are super super strong, but I know they have the potential to be very very good. Crimson Order. Yeah. I feel they are they are overtuned. I feel there are some things which are um, it's like every card is a bit too much, but just a bit. You know what I mean? It's not like it's the whole deck is broken. Like no, no, not like this.
Yeah.
I just feel like the events, the fact that you don't have to plan anything, you don't have to. You know, most events in the game, you need to do some kind of setup, and then they can work in their full potential. But with this, for example, this convert, uh, you play that one, just put it there, and that's it. I I understand the point. They want them to be simple deck, and well, the warriors. I think they're very strong. I mean, you have to be very careful. I know there are ways to counter, but no, I don't know if every deck has the tools to deal with them because some you need to be adjacent to them, and then you get smashed. And I think if I was a Wayfarer player, maybe I would not complain because I know Celeste can go and kill Daymar easily. But if you play some decks that cannot fly, cannot walk too fast or move too fast, or they don't have that reach, it's difficult because then you find a wall of units, and then he can summon again and everything, and it feels like, oh my god, this is never ending. It feels a bit too much. To be honest, recently I have not found this deck too often in the queue in the ranked play. So this is why I'm not now. My focus is on the abomination, I think. So I'm not speaking too much, and also I know that my opinion is already known by everyone, so or most people they know. So I don't want to be annoying. Cloaks and Savannah Elves. Honestly, I put them there, but I don't know if they are A right now because of the nerfs. I think they are in the 50% win rate. Even Savannah Elves were below 50%. They were 58% only in the 10% top players. Uh, I feel they are strong, not OP. So this is why I put them maybe last in the last two. But they could be also be at the top of the A. This is my opinion, but I'm not very sure.
Mhm.
Cloaks, I don't play them often because when I play them, but I was checking my stats and I do very well with them. I mean, I win a lot. I think I played 20 games and it was like, I don't know, 19 victories and one defeat, something like this. But I didn't know because I play them just, let's play them. But for some reason, I don't feel like play them too much. and when I play them, I don't do the out of shadows or anything. I just play them like a Echo deck, and they have the tools to play Echo very nicely. And I normally don't play assassination games, but yeah, they do very well because they can do both. They can do Echo and they can do assassination, so they are very strong in general.
Hmm.
And yeah, I think that's it. I have then the A level that are, yeah. I don't know if the I didn't put them in the right place. I just put everything there. I did this like in 5 minutes, so it was very fast.
Hmm.
Uh, Maybe the B, yeah,
Oh, oh,
breakers.
oh, but y-
Yep.
we're just going to skip over the Vanguard sitting there.
No, yeah, but I'm worried. Sorry, I'm not worried. Are you guys not playing Vanguards recently? I mean, I'm playing them, and my win rate with them is very high. I think my overall win rate would be like 65%, and with them I'm winning 80%.
Damn.
Yeah, I think you're right. Now with the new Mass Heal 0 cost and Jacob 3 cost, I think you're right, Lcanela. They might be top of B, somewhere A tier.
I think they are, and I just lost to, I don't remember who was that, but it's a player I normally beat, and he was playing Vanguard, and I said, that's gonna be piece of cake. No, he overwhelmed me and killed me, and I was like, oh my god, I couldn't do anything. I felt really, yeah, very strong. So I don't know if I would like people to start playing Vanguards because I'm worried they could be overtuned. Huh? Honestly, I'm saying honestly, I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a
Because
good.
of the
Oh,
results I'm having.
it's a good point that I think Vanguards is the least played deck overall, like just based off the data. I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah,
even though there is a buff, I'm not sure how many people have actually tested it out outside of playtesters.
yeah. But look, there is one thing. I'm not play testing now, but there is one thing. When I knew the Vanguards would get a buff, I decided, okay, before the buff, I want to start playing them. So I started to play Vanguards again before they got these changes. And I found like, let's say, a way of playing that I really enjoyed, which is, and it was very effective, which is discarding everything I have in my hands. Champs, I mean, I don't care about champs or whatever. I mean, everything goes to discard, events, everything. The only thing I don't discard is renewed hope. And I gather 10 magic. I just try not to be overwhelmed by the opponent. I keep once I have a lot of magic and I get renewed hope, then I just go up and start shooting with Sarah. And I mean, I was doing that before the buff, and I was winning a lot. I mean, I was already winning more than 50%. And then I started to think, do they really need a buff? Maybe what people need to do is to play differently because people tend to play Colleen or the champs or whatever. And I realized that it's not so important. I mean, if you play like this, I mean, you can overwhelm the other team. You play tempo, and then you go up, and suddenly you summon 5 units in your face, and it's very difficult for them to defend. It's very hard. It's very a strong. I mean, I'm winning 80% now, but many times I'm not playing heal. I mean the mass heal, and I'm not playing the new champ. This the archer champ. I forgot the name.
Jacob.
So I'm yeah Jacob. So I'm not. It's not. I'm not winning because of those two. Sometimes I use them, but it's not. I mean, I don't care if I draw them or not. What I find about vanguards right now, the way I'm playing them, is that they are very. They don't rely on the sequence of the draw, you know. So only two cards I care about, which is the two renewed hope. Everything
Hmm.
else, I just discard, go up, summon everything I can, put gates, put pressure, and that I mean, if I get a heal, I use it. I mean, if it makes sense. Otherwise, I discard it. Everything, guarding, everything I discard, and I feel it's very effective. Is I don't know, maybe because people are not used to play vanguards and they get surprised. But yeah, I would like people to play more because they, I don't know, maybe they are very strong and people don't know.
No, to your point, I think Water D at some point before he stopped playing as much was doing very well with them. And this is before the buffs, and just showing that like just the power of knights and like you said, renewed hope is arguably the strongest event in the game, right? So you can do
I
some
think so. Yeah,
crazy stuff with that.
yeah. I totally agree on that.
Yeah, I'm really
So
glad that you ranked them so high because when I was talking about ice climbers earlier, I think you're like the ice climbers of Summoner Wars with your Vanguard. Yes, I think you make a very. I've been following your discussion of the Vanguard channel. You make a very compelling argument for changing up the gameplay and really discovering them and shining them in a new, different, and possibly more effective light.
yeah, but I think people, I mean, they, what I have discovered recently since I started is that I need to play them in a different way that I play all the other decks. You know, like when you play Drakeson, then you have to do this, and when you play that. But Vanguard, people were just playing like just summon, attack, whatever, but they were not discarding very fast and relying on the renewed hope. Renewed hope is crazy because you can do assassination. People don't expect uh, vanguards to assassinate you, but you can do. I mean, just move to and then summon and then move again with whatever you summoned, or even you can move to place a gate, and then after you place a gate, you can summon next to the gate, like similar to what is uh, the guild dwarves are doing now with the new Baldur's Gate. You can do that as well.
Yeah.
You don't attack twice, but you can do it. You can just move, place the gate, summon, attack, or you can even yeah. So it's I think that event is OP honestly. And nobody cares because the deck is not so strong, but I think that that alone is very strong.
Mm.
So yeah, if you guys want to, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna beat you or anything, but if you want to play against me, you just send me a link, and I'll show you how I play them, and maybe you can feel it yourself, or like what you think.
That's super cool.
Maybe yeah, I don't know. I'm just sharing what I have learned. It doesn't mean that is right. I just want people to know that if you do this, they do very well, so more people can start doing the same.
Thank you. No, that's very useful. Thank you for sharing your secrets with us. No, thank you so much. Anything else you want to go over? I guess the only other thing which I can see is you rate high elves very low on your list, or it's not low, but it's just B
Um,
tier.
Maybe look, as I told you, this was very fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very sure. I don't play them a lot. I don't find them a lot in the. I've heard some people saying they are not so strong or whatever. Do you guys think they are stronger, high elves? I mean, most people, how were they rated?
Most people put it A
I
tier or high B.
better than me.
So go on.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, so they are strong. I was, you remember, you were talking to Nestle before, and regarding the Phoenix Elves, what to change.
Mhm.
You were talking about the blinding flare,
Yeah.
and I have to tell you something. I was there when they were testing this deck. Was a play tester, and I
Mhm.
don't remember at the time. Nick joined the team because Nick wasn't there. It was Colby and Joe directly, but then Nick joined, and I had a chat with him and about this because he was like, I don't know what to do, whatever. And I suggested him to do this blinding flare we have at the moment because in the past, what we had was blinding flare zero cost, but it was only affecting Maldaria.
Mm.
So it was not affecting. And I said, why don't we? What if we put it one cost, but it also affects the adjacent units? And then Nick liked it and said, "Oh, this could work." And this is how I mean. But yeah, at the time it felt like it was good. I mean, good enough. But now people think it should be zero cost. But I don't know if zero cost and what it does, if it would be too strong. At the
Mm.
time, it felt it was too strong. but I'm not sure. I mean, now there are so many strong decks that maybe it's fine. Same thing with the breakers. When we tested Blast, I remember, I think it was Waterdy was saying like, okay, Blast, this is ridiculous. It's too strong because you can just push anyone way through other units, whatever, and then they decided to put it one cost. So that's Waterdy's fault.
So we all need to bleed them.
Yeah, that's not my fault.
No, that was a great
Yeah,
change to the
yeah.
Phoenix Elves. I think it would be one of the worst events in the game if it just affected Maldara. I mean, it'd still be useful sometimes, but it would
Oh,
nowhere.
but it was zero cost. It was zero cost
I see.
at the time. So it was zero cost, but only Maldari. What else? Well, fungal dwarves. I'm a bit sad because I enjoy them a lot. I used to play them a lot after they got not nerfed. Yes, there was a nerf that they did, and also this extra life they removed. I think it was not necessary. I'm not sure if that extra life would put them back into A. I'm not sure because they have so many limitations. How are people rating them in general? What have you guys seen?
Pretty low.
Low?
Pretty low. So okay. Yeah. Sometimes they can feel very strong if you have the right sequence of cards and everything. They can feel very good. I enjoy them because it feels a bit like playing Agricola and Summoner Wars at the same time. So it's like so you have to put the seeds and grow them and whatever, but it's not so easy to do the whole thing. It's difficult. It's like playing two games at the same time. It has like a different layer of complexity on top. And yes, Simmer, these guys, SF, Shimmer, C, Faye, they, I hope they get
Some love.
help, some love. And guys, about Obsidian Dwarves, is everyone putting them in B?
C or B. It's definitely like
Yeah.
usually the bottom two tiers for most people.
Yeah, but there, who is the guy who is playing them very often now and
Me.
doing a lot of success? Who is it? Me, right?
Me.
Yeah.
Is
All
it
of
you?
us.
You?
No, that's their name. Me.
Yeah. No, I think he found a way to play them that is like champion heavy. Somehow he's discarding everything, and then always having like a sidekick, either Dabura or the other champ. I forgot the name, and having a lot of success. So I wonder if it's something similar to Vanguards, that if you play like that, you maybe push them into A tier.
No,
Not
100%.
sure.
Oh, go on. No, I think there's a lot of factions like that. Look, Nestle, Tundra Orcs, I think everyone thought was really weak. And then you just need a specialist to show that they're actually pretty strong. And it's really cool to see more and more specialists come in and really redefine.
Exactly. That's good. Also, Polar Dwarfs. There is one guy I find all the time. I don't know if it's he is in Discord. This guy, David Long.
David Long? Yeah.
Yeah, he plays all the time Polar Dwarfs and Obsidian Dwarfs. And Polar Dwarfs, he plays. I think he does very nice things. He's very good.
Yeah, those are two funny factions to main. They're very different from each other. But I guess they cover all bases, right?
Yeah, probably he likes dwarves.
Yep, true.
I don't know.
All right, thanks so much.
Yeah, and that's it, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me here. I need to go now. It was very fun. Thank you very much.
No, anytime.
thanks
That was a
for
lot of
coming
fun. See you.
Okay, see you guys.
See you. All right, next we have Lime.
We got Lime in chat.
Lime! Alive Lime!
Why not lemons?
Hey, Lime.
Yeah, where's the lemon?
Hi.
How you doing?
What is this list? I see A+ and A- and I balk at the
I don't know
sight.
who made this list, but this is a pretty good list. Jeez.
What?
So I mean,
Right.
no spicy takes. I imagine that looks good to me from A+ to C. So I guess we move on.
Yeah, perfect tier list.
All right, nice tier list. All right, next up we got
I guess.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, you can go on. Yep.
I don't know what classifies as spicy, but I imagine my tier list doesn't perfectly align with everybody else. So
Hmm.
I guess you guys need to tell me what catches your eye.
I mean, you don't have an S tier.
Yeah.
That's
Broadly
true.
speaking, the
Honestly,
stratification is the same.
yeah. I mean, it's almost symmetrical. So
Yeah.
that's all I had in mind when I was making this tier list. It was just all about symmetry. But no, for me, honestly, I think S tier signified like too good, like a little too good. And I think Summoner Wars is pretty balanced. So for me, I didn't think an S tier was necessary. Though the A plus slash S tier kind of the same thing, honestly. But yeah, no S tier for a
Mm.
I
reason.
mean, if we're at the defense portion already, I think the first thing that jumps out to me is you ranking the filth. Are these in order in the tiers?
Yeah, somewhat in order.
Okay, like
Yeah.
those filth and Shadow Elf rankings are eyebrow raising.
Yeah, I mean, clearly I haven't played Vexer enough for the Shadow Elves, but I'm pretty sure I have a pretty good record against both of them.
Mm.
And they're definitely very flexible, but I think, I mean, my favorite play style is playing economy, and they both largely allow me to do that. So usually it just plays to my strengths, and I'm allowed to win the long game. Especially with Shadow Elves, I think some of the factions I play have particularly good matchups against both of them. Like I would say Chosen Grove plays well against both of them. Eternal Council, at least against the Filth, I think that's a good matchup.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that probably helps me out a little bit too. So yeah,
Yeah, that's a surprising one. I've had the same experience. For some reason, Chosen Grove does well in the Shadow Elves, and I don't know why. Maybe, but it just
it
works well.
does. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just like so much HP to shoot through. I think it just takes them too long. But yeah, it's like it doesn't feel like you're winning, and then at one point you're like, wow, I have 20 HP still on the board, and they only have a summoner and like a Shadow Knight or two. Like this looks all right.
Yep, yep.
All right,
So
I'm going to need to see replays because this is fascinating to me. Send me
yeah,
links.
I'll send you one.
I want to see some of these.
yeah, I think my best record is actually with Chosen Grove. I mean I haven't played that much, but I think it's like 25 wins, 2 losses or something like that.
Damn.
So yeah,
I mean,
subtle
you do
flex
have
right there.
Grove higher than people often list too. Not much higher, but like a shade higher than usual.
Not much higher. Yeah, I think it I could have placed them at A tier. I think because all their games always feel really close by nature, they're just kind of waiting out the long game, or at least at least that's how I play it. So it feels like all the games are close, but you end up winning all of them, or at least that's or you win most of them. So that's a little bit how I've experienced them. So it's
Well,
not
you
like
win most of them.
Fatal
I'm
Core.
terrible on the Grove.
Yeah, there's no real like you don't like steamroll anybody. So if you beat them, you feel good, and if you lose to them, well, you lost this long game that you almost won by whatever a hair. So that's the feel I would say. Yeah.
Mm. How about I mean, I know you the best for your performances in the Tournament of Champions with Eternal Council. What do you think about them in terms of the grand scheme of Summoner Wars decks?
I mean, I love playing as them. I think they probably have the most like replayability because of learn. I mean, you basically have every event in the game at your disposal.
Mm.
Um, but I do think, I mean, I enjoy playing factions that I don't know how to play well against because like with the Eternal Council, I'm uncertain. Do you attack Edia? Do you try to like limit the amount of boosts she can get? So when I'm unsure how to what kind of play style I want to use, usually that's a sign that that's a deck I would enjoy playing as. Um, but that being said, I do think Eternal Council, they they're not like great at anything really, so they don't have like strengths that they can utilize to carry them consistently through a lot of games. So I think I struggle with consistency with Eternal Council, despite having quite good draw. I do think they struggle a little bit. So yeah. But,
That makes sense.
mhm.
That's a cool way of thinking about it. Beast, do you have any questions or any um, anything interesting
I
about this
mean,
list?
the big one I think is Beckett at A, but it's not a secret. They're also as flexible. I think it's really just their flexibilities and their units than their events. So that's the only part that's questionable to me. And also, where is Eternal Council here? What
A
am I missing?
minus. Bottom
A
left.
minus.
Yeah, A minus, A minus.
I
I was
see.
tempted to put them in B plus, but I felt maybe that was just me being biased to my faction. You know, makes me feel better about winning with them, so I kept them in the A minus tier because of that.
Should have
But
ranked
yeah,
Filth in C.
yeah,
No, but it is a very interesting list, and the creme de la creme, the top of the top, are not the usual suspects like Spectral and Swamp Orcs.
I had to put Swamp Orcs there. I think everybody under. I mean, maybe I'm just salty after that Aaron defeat in Tournament of Champions, but I think I don't really think they have any bad matchups. I mean, maybe the only one I can think of is Storm Goblins, but even then, I don't know if that's a particularly bad matchup. So, I mean, I think you largely can play the same playstyle with them no matter what faction you're going against. And I think unlike most factions, you're kind of forced to go towards them because if you let them build that swamp up, oh my god, then you're just taking a bunch of dice to the face. So I think by nature of them just being able to do what they want and making other factions not do what they want, that makes them really, really strong. So I struggle a lot against them, and I do very well with them. So that's something that seemed like a good indicator to put them at the top. But yeah,
I mean, I'm with you.
I
I
also
have Swamp Orcs at my top as well, so preaching to the choir.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I think cloaks in the nerfs to the recent nerfs to Savannah Elves and cloaks. I don't know. I mean, it definitely dropped them down a little bit, but I think they probably would both have been at my top if they didn't have the nerfs. I think both of them were. Maybe that would have been my S tier, cloaks and Savannah Elves beforehand. So I actually think they. I know people say Savannah Elves or Shadow Elves are at the top, but I think I'm evaluating this from maybe the top players rather than the number one player who plays the faction. So
Now
I
that
don't think
Vexers
it makes
retired, Shadow Elves are.
yeah, exactly. Shadow Elves dropped to C tier now that now that Vexer's gone. So, yeah,
Yeah, no.
exactly. Yeah. So,
You don't have
mhm.
the new factions, but based off your very preliminary data, where would you, or analysis, where would you put them?
That's yeah. I want to say the dragons. I mean, they're a very aggressive faction, but I think it's inherently harder to play aggro than play defensively. So I have a feeling they're gonna fit into the A tier once people get better at figuring out how to defend them.
Hmm.
And I think the Guild Dwarves are gonna be a little like Shadow Elves, where they have a very high skill ceiling, but they take a long time to master. Um, yeah, so probably both of them in the A tier, maybe Guild Dwarves above the Dragons if I had to bet. They have a lot of things going for them, and they have maybe the strongest mechanic in Summoner Wars, which is whiff punishment. So you can chuck 4 dice at a 5 HP gate that they spent no magic on, and they can just recycle that over and over and over again. So I think that's something definitely you should not undervalue.
I completely agree. Yeah, no. Great analysis, Lime. Thank you so much.
Oh,
So we'll see. All right,
before
yeah,
you go,
good luck.
if you're
I
trying
don't
to
have much
leave.
time anyway, so I need to
Oh,
get going. But
all right.
thanks for hosting this. So yeah.
Yeah, anytime. This was a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Yep.
Yeah, it is great. All right, see you guys around.
See you around, Lime.
Cheers.
Bye.
What did you want to ask, Astro?
Well, I'm not offended that Balsaur's in B plus. The fact that he's ahead of what is it, 2, 4, 6, 8 other factions.
Yeah.
It's
crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's proportional to how many times you play me, right? That's how it works.
Me?
Yeah, I felt like Nestle's list earlier too was a little bit written from the perspective of Isle of Ekid. Like, oh, Spectral Conclave is this because they can do this to Isle of Ekid, and so you
Well, that's
get
what
this.
I love about tier lists.
Yeah, like you said, Ash, it's like a look into the maker's mind. It's like these guys are writing it from a particular perspective. Also, what's the difference between A minus and B plus?
I think yeah, that's it.
I'll call it live.
I'm assuming it's like if there's like some artificial distance between tiers, there's just a lot more distance.
No, I get it.
Between just basically, he said Lime is saying that Fungal Doors and Shimmer Sea Fair are just complete garbage. That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
just...
that's pretty much the list.
Okay.
I'm surprised about Tundra Orcs though. I feel like I look at them now as I look at Mountain Vargath. They feel more neutral to me. I don't know why.
Nestle, send live a private link.
I think it could be also Lime is newish, and so maybe that's the time which Nestle was playing a lot of Isle Vikid. And that's why I see Isle Vikid so high and Tundra Orc so low.
Yeah.
Could be. Also, it's matchup dependent, like you guys said.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more Tundra Orcs players in general than Isle Vikid players. So that can also dilute. Okay. We can do A minus. Okay. Cool. I'm excited for the podcast to see yours and Jack6, Aaron. We can do some people who are not in chat, unless someone in chat wants to do theirs.
Somebody get in here, defend their bad choices.
Let's speak for them.
Speak for them, exactly.
Let's do it.
Should we do the? I have a very spicy one from Prophet, who I'm not sure will be in chat or not. I don't think so. You guys want to see this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys ready for this? This surprised me actually. Look at what's the bottom.
It's the same thing.
No. Go down.
Whoa.
Oh.
Right? It's about the same, and then you get to the bottom, and you're like, what?
No, I gotta give props to Prophet. I recognize the real one. Shimmer Sife up 2 spots.
Exactly.
Man.
I mean, the Sand Goblin player putting Chosen Grove in the last spot kind of makes sense.
True. I think also Forge is really high is something, which is interesting. I'd say Drake's Rebellion, because I know they play a lot of Drake's Rebellions lower than majority of other Drake's Rebellion players. Like I know you, Astro, put them pretty high, right? A or S tier.
Indeed.
Fungal Dwarf is also really high.
Playing a lot of DR.
Yep.
Pretty sure he's been playing them extensively. That's interesting that he finds them at B.
So let me read what because they typed for me a paragraph. So they said, here's mine based off my own experiences and playstyle. I would argue that B tier is playable, could probably take these decks into a competitive game, and has a fair chance to win. C tier decks are generally unfavored or have a lot of unfavorable matchups. Typically, these decks are pretty predictable and have it easy to identify hard counters. D tier decks are like C tier decks in the sense that they have easy to identify hard counters, but their strengths often don't play well to identify a win condition before their hard counter takes over the game. A tier is top tier competitive decks, generally has multiple win conditions, less predictable board states, either has both econ and assassination options, or extreme excels at one of them. S tier factions excel at both econ and assassination, with the ability to pivot between the two styles to react to various board states. Most of these factions allow for the summoner to be active, but also provide value over the life of the game in the event they get injured. Yeah, and the next thing he said is having a C and T tier often can be misleading. The balance of the game is very tight, so a D tier can be an S tier faction if the skill gap is wide enough. But personally, he doesn't like decks which have hard counters, was basically his point. Yep. So I think for Prophet, it's more how versatile are the factions, and that's probably why Chosen Grove is so low, is because Chosen Grove really only have one game plan, which is, econ, stay in your spot, and, wait till uprooted.
Kind of, yeah. Just how fast you get there.
Exactly.
Some players still play the Chosen Grove like a slow roll. Like if they trade well, they don't really deploy as many things off the hand.
Yeah.
And I've done that, and I've lost like that. So, but yes, yeah, I can see why he says that they're.
Well, this also explains why the Vargath and the Sky Spear Avians are so high, because that's quite the placement for them compared to other people.
Mm-hmm.
But they are kind of more neutral of a deck.
Yeah, they can play both styles, like he says. Because that's how he's basically, it's basically versatility, Do you need the summer involved? Are they really good at assassination or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you need the summoner involved? is sort of things. I think the other interesting thing, as people have been pointing out, I think Aaron was the one who really pointed this out. So Aaron, the problem is I messaged Orange Lazarus, but he didn't send anything back. But I need to press him on it because I'm curious where he puts them also alongside Aaron. But a lot of people are really down bad on polar dwarves, and so I'm curious.
I'm also down bad on polar dwarves. I just don't say it.
So I think it's, again, flexibility is probably why people have them lower.
Yep.
But strong polar dwarves players are always very scary, and as you can see with Orange Lazarus last Tournament of Champions, they can do very well. I think he went like 4-2 or something with them in group stages. But yeah, anything else you guys want to point out about this list before we go to another list?
I mean, for Aaron, look at the Breakers. They're up in mid B there. Going up.
Yeah, that's interesting to me.
Breakers usually like in the bottom 5 or so.
True. I think Forged is also really high for other lists, like A tier Forged versus usually it's like B, C for most players.
Yeah, with Forged, the thing with Forged is there are ways to get to the Inventor, but it's matchup specific. Sometimes you can only have honest trades against the Forged. Like if you're, I don't know, Mountain Vargath or Alvekid, you don't really have that many ways to get to the Inventor. But when you do, it's a tenable fight. But their game plan is clear. Like advance up the opponent, yeah, just up their grill and deny them spots and dominate the game like that. I can see why they're strong because they do feel oppressive strong once they're up there.
True. I think also I've been watching Exile, who's a new player, play with them, and it's very cool to see just like different styles. Like they're not. Yeah, it definitely requires a specialist, I think, to be good at them, though.
Exile playing Forge.
Yep.
You mean flexible, like back row Inventor doing
crazy stuff.
range game against DR?
Yep. That was a crazy game.
No, shots fired or not, but yeah.
Yep.
I see it. I see the vision. I feel like DR just does that to you.
True.
Then, yeah.
Cool. Tundra Orc's also pretty low, I think, is the other thing which sticks out to me. But yeah, we can go to another list now.
Yeah, enough profit. Get out of here.
There's some of these who I think they'd probably come into chat, so I don't want to. People who have already been on chat, I won't do their list yet, just in case they want to come on to defend theirs. We can do SirHandsome next. Is a fun one. Magnifico.
Yeah. The original OD player.
The original, exactly.
OG OD.
OD. This one seems pretty typical. Fungal Doors is really high. That's one thing which sticks out.
Nope. Yeah.
Vanguard's also is really high. Above Fallen Kingdoms is interesting to me.
Yeah. Has he been playing Lcanela? Forge low. Polar Doors low.
Polar Doors. Also, poor Nestle Tundra Orcs is getting wrecked in the last couple of the last few tier lists.
Aaron's podcast is just would be an eternal defense of Polar Doors. They're not that bad.
Yep, it's just an eternal defense of Polar Dwarves.
Fungal Dwarves A. That's in this economy. No, but actually though, in proper context, like this kind of faction climate, like a lot of the things up top are pretty against Fungal Dwarves. Like even Drake's Sun Rebellion, I think is nasty to fight into.
100%.
I feel like Fungal Doors really like cratered with Storm Goblin's release, and then it's just been like faction after faction after faction that's been kicking them while they're down.
Yeah.
Very true. It could also be Fungal Doors is high because of the factions Magnifico plays, because Shadow Elves.
Oh, but he plays
sometimes-
Shadow Elves, which is a counter.
I think I've heard from others that people think that, especially when this was like more of a faction matchup, I think people thought that was even, like when you have like at the highest level 2 people playing. But
Oh.
of course, Aaron should let me know, because I remember there were some finals where it was like a lot of Shadow Elves versus Fungal Dwarves, because those were seen as the 2 top decks at that time. But let me know, Aaron, what you think about the matchup. Just reading Aaron say, the Fungal Dwarves are so sad.
I feel confident discard for magic holding off Fungal Dwarves in A tier.
True. It just needs to be a dwarf defense. There needs to be a discard for magic, just defense of the dwarves. Yeah, cool. Yeah, Vanguard's being high up. I think Magnifico is also someone who's been experimenting a lot with them, or at least playing against them. So definitely something which
Yeah,
is
that's what I thought, Aaron.
to look forward to, I guess, in the future, whether Vanguards become more higher in everyone's tier list. Go on.
Magnifico also has Wayfarers in B tier. Like, the disrespect here.
Yep. They do have Swamp Orcs in S tier. That's something we are seeing more and more of. Which is
Yeah,
cool.
I'm seeing more and more of that. I get this feeling that we need more top players to consistently play Swamp Orcs to teach the youngins a lesson.
But okay, who was it that was on that was saying like they don't like play this faction because it requires a lot of brain power?
Mm.
Lcanela,
mean-
what he swap was it you with Sand Goblins? Or maybe it was
Yeah, it was Sand Goblins, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel with Swamp Orcs. Like, Swamp Orcs, I think, are an S tier faction, but, like, it's a lot of brain power when you're doing it competitively.
Yeah, I think you, Astro, is the one I associate with most with this sort of, like, very defensive,
Yeah.
use Vine Mancers to isolate high priority targets, like, behind a bunch of gates. Because I think
Yeah.
before that, everyone was just pushing forward, making a big swamp, pushing forward, was, like, the meta.
Yeah, and I'm like these, where I'm just like, no, I'm going to sit back and slowly trade and, have a really boring game.
So Aaron proves me completely wrong. I'm apparently Shadow Elves is one of their worst matchup. Well, one of their worst matchups out of 6. Yeah, they have so many.
Yeah, Vexer and I independently were playing Swamp Orcs.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people play Swamp. I know the first person who stuck out to me was Water D, getting like really high. He got like super high rated just by playing Swamp Orcs at the start of a season.
Yeah, when they released, Water D said like, "Oh, this faction is broken and absurd and like super overpowered," and then completely fell off them. So, but I feel like Water D says that about every release. Yeah, it just kind of like it passed to the wind for the community, and even Water D stopped playing them. So like, they did kind of fall off, and yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think I was playing Polar Dwarves. That was who it was. And Swamp Orcs, I faced against a Swamp Orc lair, and they just wiped the floor with me. I went to the Discord, like, how do you win this matchup? And everybody just kind of threw me a whole bunch of shrug emojis. So I picked the faction. It was like, oh, the faction's broken. That's the problem.
True. Other interesting thing, Astro, like because you do a lot of, I know you play a lot of Grox. He has deeper Grox in A tier. I'm not sure.
I could see it.
What are your thoughts? Does that make sense in your opinion?
I mean, I think they're. Where'd they end up? I think they're in B, but they didn't have in my tiered list. But they don't have a lot of tournament results, and the errata definitely has thrown them for a bit of a loop. I think they'll climb back up. I do think, yeah, they're strong. They are, in terms of like Prophet's point of view, a bit one-dimensional. Like, you're never going to assassinate with them. So if you get against a faction that is very strong at pushing up and getting in your face, they really struggle. But they do really well against other top decks, I feel. Like, I play them because I don't have an issue doing Grox into like Cloaks or Grox into Ciabatta Elves or into some of these other, or even Shadow Elves. Like, I feel like they're more capable in those. I won't say they're favored, but like it feels a little more even footing. But they will struggle against like people who run up and punch you in the face like Wayfarers. So I don't know. For me, it's in a tournament setting. It's a question of like how many Wayfarer players are there going to be. Apparently a lot, but I would think that like a if Wayfarers aren't eating their lunch. Certainly higher than Fungal Dwarves. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Crazy. I also think they'll be great against Spectral Conclave, which my anticipation is Spectral Conclave will be the new hot topic.
Oh yeah, Sears is Eat Ghosts for lunch.
Yeah, and like Sears Eat Ghost, Swift Potion, which you're going to play anyway, is going to eat Ghost. You've got your what are the range teams called? Not Sages. Anyway, you're playing all four of the range commons. Hecatea is going to farm boost off them. And then you've got your Wardens to protect. Like, I think they're a very strong pick into the Spectral Conclave, and my expectations, the Spectral Conclave will be like everywhere.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's gonna be a majority Wayfarers, Spectral Conclave. If there's another plat hat, maybe Phil. I think it's gonna be Phil, Spectral Conclave, Wayfarers. If I had to guess, would be like the 3 most played decks.
So I'm trying to keep my Groaks in good shape because I'm still debating whether I take them, but I think they would be a strong pick into what I anticipate would be the meta of the next tournament.
Cool. All right, let's go to the next list. So what I'm thinking is potentially I split this into 2 streams, just because we still have a ton to go through. And also I think I can probably coordinate with people to come in. So let's do like 2 or 3 more quick ones and then call it a day if that works for you guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
I always love trash talking somebody else's list.
Sounds good. We can do Fuzzies. So Fuzzies comes with a caveat where she said that this is for her own, like when she plays them, how she feels they are. So for example, Filth, she feels like she's not the best Filth player, so that's why she puts them in bottom of A tier versus S tier. And that's why Sangomans are so high, because she's a great Sangomans player. She has Breakers really high, so Aaron will enjoy that.
I think she's low key onto something. Breakers are definitely being slept on by people. I'll throw you a vote, Aaron.
Yeah, I think Breakers are fantastic, especially if you have win mages and gates to really defend your investments off of. But I don't know, Fuzzy. This looks like a play safe list again. Like you have your usual SAB and you have your SF tier. Like this is the offend no one list.
Groaks are low.
Oh
Groaks
yeah,
are offensively low.
Yeah, that's true, huh?
That's my complaint. Aaron's not going to like where Polar Dwarves are.
Yep. Second to last.
Yeah. She's all aboard the Fallen Kingdom errata.
Mm-hmm.
They're right behind the Spectral Conclave and Ciabatta House.
Yep.
Also, Eternal Council? That is really high.
Council up there. If this is an ordered list, there's no way.
It's an order list, yeah. But again, it's what she's comfortable with playing, like how she in her hands how they feel. Not necessarily.
I think Lime's a great player, but even he had Eternal Council low A. That is bold.
I will say, Fuzzy gave me a spanking with her Eternal Council last Plat Hat tournament when I was playing Al Vikid. I just completely lost, so I can't say anything. She has good Eternal Council. Very defensive.
I wonder what that matchup would be, though. Maybe they match up well into more recent decks.
Yeah, I think it would be a very cool Summoner War Zone or Summoner War League matchup, Eternal Council versus Al Vikid. I think that's a nice, similar to versus Swamp Orcs, Al Vikid, and Eternal Council. I feel like are all very similar decks in that way. It can hit you hard.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought experiment. I think Astro might be right. Edia loves doing single hits on Vekids, clearing out whatever their front unit is, and then backing off. Guild Dwarves, she would love to eat whatever construct of the day is. Drake's Son, she would love to get one in on that dragon. And hopefully she can stay safe after, but if she can, then that's like a big hit against DR. Yeah, I think you're on to something, Astro.
Oh, I didn't even think of that, Nestle. Yeah, Idia could steal Island Smite.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're going to play it.
16
as
dice.
IV, you have to play Island Smite. There's no way you pitch that. Sometimes if you're facing Idia and you've got a really strong vet, you'll just can it if you haven't seen the learns. But you gotta play Island Smite. You never discard Island Smite, right, Nestle?
Yeah, I don't think you would ever discard it. Maybe if you have
Just- I
two in
can't-
hand, but it's just so good. Like even with two in hand.
Just play one.
Exactly. It's so good.
It's so good. I would. The only thing I could think of is maybe like you go for a. I discard it every game. I don't. Maybe you do a Y2E Gambit against a Dia. She'll blow it up at next turn, but like eight dice to the face would hurt. What's it my whole life? And did you regret that one discard?
Yep.
I don't think Roko really needs to spend Island's Might on anything, though, against Eternal Council.
You think it just most of the commons are you can clear with one or two
Yeah,
attacks.
you can trade with Dancer and Roko or something.
Well, you're not going to be trading against Mind Knights with Dancer.
True.
But it's also kind of risky, fielding a Mind Knight against. Like, what are they gonna let you hit with it, unless you get to park it up against the gate and then have it in prime position. But until it gets into a secure spot, it's kind of like a dangling 2-cost investment.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm curious how it
I'd watch replays.
Yeah.
Nestle, send us some replays. Fuzzy, if you're watching,
send us a replay.
It's an interesting matchup for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
No. Yeah. Petition that for the league. That'd be a good one.
Agreed. All right. Anything else about this list, or should we go on to the next one? We can. Go on.
She also has high elves really high. Has Fuzzy been playing high elves?
Maybe. High elves has been high on some lists though. I think Prophet also had it high. I'm not sure how high you had it. Yeah.
I think they're high. It's just like nobody plays them.
True.
Yeah.
I haven't run into a high elf play for like 2 seasons.
Yeah, again, they're one of these factions where you kind of have to specialize because it's really you need to think a lot when playing them in terms of positioning of auras. Otherwise, you just get destroyed by the opponent abusing your auras.
All right, Beast. For your next tournament, you're taking high elves, you're taking swamp orcs, you're taking.
Oh my god! Just end me. Just forfeit every game right there. No, I'm actually fine taking high elves. The swamp orcs just makes me feel claustrophobic. I know they're strong. It's just I never feel like I do anything right with them, even though I'm like I could be winning. It just feels so freaking clogged up in here.
A little swampy.
Cool. Yep. Let's do Deadsan's next. Deadsan's a great player.
I expect to see Spectral
Conclave
and Breakers.
I want to see where the dragons are on their list.
Top on the pinnacle. They have Filth top, makes sense. And then Drake's on.
Yeah. I've run into Deadsons quite a bit in the queue while I'm climbing with dragons, so this doesn't surprise me.
What's tier?
I have no clue. They didn't. I'm assuming it's A tier. Maybe I'm not sure.
These people are just making things up.
Yeah,
I have to ask
you guys
them.
gotta follow the format, y'all.
I'm renaming all my tiers. I won't even put them in order.
So Deadsons plays mostly ladder. I know that they're starting to play league, and I know they play Tournament of Champions. So I think this makes a lot of sense, especially Shadow Elves placement if you just play ladder. Because Eternal Council versus Shadow Elves makes no sense to me, but if you play a lot of ladder, that makes a lot of sense. Same thing with the Forge being so high up.
When you say ladder, does that mean like 45 or 3-day or just general rank?
I think they do both. They do both.
You're just saying general.
General ranked, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think Mount Vargath being B tier is kind of spicy also.
Yeah. I mean, OD's so high. I keep joking that Balzar's too high, but Balzar's too high. Like, I'm not crazy here, right?
Swamp Orcs also being below.
Orcs B. Your Storm Goblins in B. Rogues in B. Okay, what's going on here? This is crazy. Okay, Deadsands does play a lot of Cave Goblins. So that probably explains the
Swamp Orcs
and the Swamp Orcs.
Yeah.
Because they
Crimson just Order in B. What? All right.
I think
Crimson Order in B.
Go on.
No, go ahead.
I think I would, to be honest, if I made a tier list right now, I think I'd put Crimson Order in B. I think people are putting them too high, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, Lcanela is going to put them in S, but
it also,
yeah.
I'm very biased because I'm a Sand Goblins, Storm Goblins player, so Crimson Order is not that scary for me.
I think these. It doesn't offend me.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that B tier is wild.
Agreed. The BTs.
Cave Goblins up there? Cave Goblins casually ahead of Crimson Order? I don't think I'd be that bold.
They are a specialist, right? And they do some... if you've ever seen some Deadsan's Cave Goblins game, they do some crazy stuff with that faction. Similar to B... Like,
yeah, Cave...
Go on.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, Deadsan's plays like 5... I looked at his profile. He does play like 5 factions, but he's number 1 in all of them. So, this is definitely like filtered through those 5. I'm trying to think what the other ones are.
Spectral, Drakeson, Cave, Breakers.
Yeah, I can do that right now.
Oh, Deadsan's plays Breakers? I don't think I've faced their Breakers.
Yeah. Constantly post there.
Yeah, damn, number 1 in everything, you're right.
Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, Wayfarers. Oh, not even Drakeson. Okay.
Yeah, no, they don't. Okay. they play into a lot of Drakeson, let me just say that.
Interesting. No, 100%. I need to play more ladders, so I play into them. I don't think I've played them yet, but of course I've heard amazing things, and I've watched them the replays. They're really good. Also, Fallen Kingdoms being the top of A is crazy.
Oh, Cave Goblin player, right?
Hmm?
Cave Goblin player.
True. That's a good point. That's actually an amazing point. Yeah, that's the worst matchup in the game.
Third best deck in the game.
Yep. That's a great point.
Though, I mean, they do play a lot of Spectral Conclave, and I think Conclave would be good against FK, right?
FK? Yeah.
Do I need to start learning Fallen Kingdom? Is this what I'm learning from today's stream? Like, learn Fallen Kingdom for the next tournament, they're busted.
I think Fallen Kings are very strong right now. Especially if you play them more like Econ, like Davood and Massimo play them.
Yeah.
I do have Davood and Beans, but I think they should be here because Davood has a crazy one. But that's because but I want him to be here to explain it, so I think it's better.
Okay, I can already tell you Beans. It's going to be Mountain Vargath at S. Cave Goblins at S.
So I think for next stream oh, sorry, go on.
Oh no, that's like pretty much all they play.
Yeah, Cave Goblins is also. I'll spoil a little, but Cave Goblins is a lot higher in Beans tier than it is for others. But that's because, like, look, the best 2 Cave Goblins players are probably Deadsans and Bean, so they do some nuts stuff with those factions with Cave Goblins. We can. So we can finish with Dark-Thomy, I guess. It's a fun one. My favorite Fallen Kingdoms, yeah. He's my favorite Fallen Kingdoms player to watch. Just he kind of redefined just this champion before the nerfs. This very champion heavy.
Before the buff.
Before the buffs, yeah.
Right.
Are they still playing Fallen Kingdom?
I think so, but I think they've branched off to Cave or Sand Goblins. So no OP, which is very cool. They don't think anything's overpowered.
Oh, nothing at S. All right.
Guild Dwarves number 1 next to Isle Vikid. Interesting.
Neither of you are really doing the QA.
Not really, sadly. Yeah, we need someone. We need a queuer to explain.
I need somebody to defend Guild Dwarves because, like, in the queue, they've been.
Yeah, I have maybe next time I can message because they gave me their list. The number 1 player, Guildmaster with Guild Dwarves, gave me their list, but I don't want to spoil it in case they want to join the chat. I can message them to defend theirs.
Yeah, because I've run against Guildmaster. Now it was probably early. I think it was early when they just released. So
yeah, still figuring it out.
But maybe it was also the faction play, and that's the thing. Like, I don't know
from a personal perspective, how good the faction is depending on who I'm playing. So it could just be the decks I like are good against Guild Wars.
Yep. Yeah, no, but cool list. So they do it more like these are above the fray, they think, then the rest are kind of just like balanced, and then they have some weaker decks, including Internal Council, which is slightly spicy. Interesting they put Vanguards again above, or sorry, TBD. So TBD is tier they don't know about these factions, which makes sense.
On Tundra Orcs?
Oh no, TBD doesn't. They don't know. They never
okay.
played against them, so just ignore those ones.
Interesting.
Yeah, my deal. My deal.
But they're a fellow Phoenix Elves hater. I am in that boat.
I'm going to screw Phoenix Elves.
I can see, especially as
fun fact.
Oh, go on. Mm-hmm.
A fun fact: Phoenix Elves is like one of 2 decks I have a negative win rate with. I do not get them. I hate that deck so much.
You need to summon the dragon, dude. That's how you. That's the way to win. I think also the way Dark-Thomy plays Fallen Kingdoms probably makes them think that it makes sense that they put Phoenix Elf so low because they're very assassination heavy, and a 9 health summoner is not the best. Yeah, curious to hear why they think Eternal Council is weaker. I think it's definitely the weaker of the. If I had a tier list, it would be the weaker end of the A tier or maybe top tier of B. But I wouldn't say it's like a. I wouldn't really change anything about the deck. It's still a really good deck.
I put them low, but I wouldn't change them.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for both joining.
Thanks for doing this.
This was
good stuff.
A lot of fun. I'm very happy because it definitely is, like you guys have seen, like a lot more spicy than I thought it would be. I thought it would be just, abbreviated version of, Vexers tier list or,
I know. I know. That took you guys hours to record, I remember. And now there's like even more factions coming up.
Yeah.
It's getting nuts. It's getting nuts, and quite literally nuts, because I think the community already had a word about the squirrels, like cornhole tray, and then the wolves are they're public info now. So it's like, how do I even comprehend where everything sits at?
I'm curious to see how that checks out, because that was kind of at the end of the tail end of my
I remember. Yeah.
I'm learning with everybody else on these two.
I still think we released a monster with Drake's son. I do hope they middle out. I hope they middle out, and I hope I'm right, but I think they're quite the monster.
Hey, you're blowing Astro's cover. Astro wants a.
No, Astro's on sabbatical.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Right. Thanks so much.
Good stuff, folks.
Yep.
GG's.
All right, guys, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I'll probably I'll message. I know Kowloon. I can probably get Bean and Davood on also. Exile, I know likes to gets on chat a lot. So I can probably get them on also. So maybe I divide this in either 2 or 3 more parts. Yeah. I also plan on streaming soon the remaining Turtlement games or Turtle Terror games. Just haven't had time with trying to organize this. But yeah, I think this is a great idea. And if people like it, then I can also do maybe in a month or 2 a fun tier list. How much fun factions are. And I think that'll shake it up a little bit. My guess, if I was a betting man, Vanguards would be dead last. But I'm sure there are people who like the relaxing playstyle of Vanguards. But for me, spoiler, they're dead last. Yeah, let me think. And then maybe I end this with or here, I can quickly do, just so the people know, my own tier list, a fast one. I'll try to do it within 5 minutes. That'll be fun. Let's do a quick one. And then afterwards, we'll end the stream. Alrighty. How am I doing this one? Quick. I think the worst faction in the game is Tree. Or sorry, not Tree. Is Shimmer Sea Fae. Breakers. 3 more hours. TD is going to be real fun. Yeah. Maybe hard to evaluate without playing. Yeah, I agree. The factions we don't know. Actually, no, I'm not going to do this right now. I think it'll be fun with people criticizing me in chat. So we'll do this later. And then I have to defend myself. That might be fun. So I'll do this later. This is not the time to do this. So yeah, next stream we'll finish it up, and then maybe we'll do a third stream where we just have people roasting me for my tier list. I think that could be a lot of fun. But yeah, thanks guys for coming. I know it was a longer stream, but it was very fun. Yeah, very fun to hear people's opinions on different decks. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Probably stream sometime this week. I am relatively flexible. Yeah, once I know when what people's schedules are, I'll let everyone know a time. But I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.